Hi, Karen.
Hey, how you doing, Judge?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. All right, I logged all the way out. Find the police department in. Marissa says she's still in my room.
Is she in the room?
But she got in the waiting room.
Wow, this is delayed.
That's because I had it.
Oh. That was weird.
Can I borrow Christy for a minute?
Absolutely.
I'll talk to him. How's that?
I'll talk to you. Oh, you remember live.
Oh, we're live, yeah. We can't.
Okay.
So all
you
your
got
files
your
are
stuff?
ready? Got my stuff.
Did you get
Very
mine?
good. Yes, I did, thank you. I did. Everything going well?
We're here.
You know,
How about you?
doing all right. 5 more days to go.
Thanks for what you're putting pressure on me now.
Why? What do you gotta do?
Oh, I don't know.
No.
Pretty much got it.
Right, we do. And if we don't, I'll just add another.
There you go. I don't think they'll work it that way for you.
Probably not. Not at all. Karen was having trouble in the other room.
Sounds like it.
Christy does it all. Oh, here she comes. I'm gonna move again.
Okay.
Have fun with the docket.
Thank you.
I got mine. Okie dokie.
See much.
I know. It's no fun.
You got a mask, right? Because Goddard's gonna be. Okay.
Yep.
Let me see. I just texted Dana. Her client's here. I don't know if she needs to talk to him.
How do you do that?
So what are we doing, Christy?
I'm looking up. There he is right there. I'm gonna let Jeff Stone in.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
All just usual. Everyone's calling me now.
Of course.
Yeah, I have lots of plea sheets back from when I got back from lunch.
Yeah. I just had one that texted. He was calling and calling, and then they texted, and he said, can you talk? And I said, let me ask you this. I said, assume there's no COVID, and I'm standing on the record in a courtroom, and you're at counsel table. Would you call me right now? And I think.
What'd he say?
He said, no, not if you're on the record. Well,
There you go.
Okay, so I have the jail here. I had a whole mess of people.
How many got in jail?
I think 8, and I forgot to bring my jail list down.
Oh, Jesus.
um,
Okay.
I know Hudspeth is in jail. Doug Womack's on that. It'll be a waiver.
Let's do Hudspeth. Let's start out slow. Is Womack there?
Mr. Womack is here, yes.
Let's do Hudspeth.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring Mr. Womack in, and let's find the jail.
Does he have more than one?
No.
You ready, Mr. Womack?
Good afternoon, Judge.
How are you today?
I'm fine. How about you?
Great. Hudspeth.
Doug Womack on behalf of Doug.
Hold on. Hey, Depp.
Yes, sir.
Hudspeth. Hudspeth.
Hudspeth.
Yes.
Yeah. Call me back in about 10 minutes, okay? I'm in the middle of a hearing.
Is that an inmate you're asking for, sir? A Hudspeth?
Yes. Hudspeth. Hudspeth.
Do you guys need him down here?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's not on the list. I got to punch him in
He's
and see if
not,
he's here.
yeah, he's,
It'll take me a little bit to get him down here, sir.
I'm sorry. We'll be back, Doug.
Okay,
Who else you got in jail?
I just printed my. I have Draper, Hall, Hammonds, Nemeth.
Nemeth is going to be an exam. I don't know if you want to do that right away or not.
No.
I think we thought it was gonna waive, I think, and that's why we,
Right.
I have Mr. Tuttle's here if you want to do Draper. I don't know, Jeff, are you on Draper?
Yeah.
What are we doing on Draper?
I don't know. I presume he's going to want an exam. It's a attempt. murder.
Probably. He's incarcerated, right?
Yes.
So I will bring in Mr. Tuttle's. Oh, I hit Joe, not Mr. Tuttle's.
That's not Mr. Tuttle's.
No. He must have been right under him as I was.
That's Mr. Tuttle's. Can you hear us, Mr. Tuttle's?
I can hear you, Your Honor. Can you hear me?
Sure can.
Okay, okay.
Joe, I'm putting you back in the waiting room.
okay.
Oh, you,
Draper,
yes. He's at the jail.
right? Draper,
Hold on 1 second, sir.
thank you.
Draper?
Did I throw my JIS over there?
Bears lost last night. Makes me happy. Just won. Really?
Stretch the cover there.
Can you hear us, Mr. Draper?
Yes.
Okay, let me call the case. People versus Draper, 206796. Counsel,
Good afternoon, Your Honor. May it please this honorable court, Antonio D. Tuttles on behalf of my client, that is Mr. Draper, whose physical presence I do ask this court to waive because he's not physically present in court. However, Mr. Draper is present via Zoom. Mr. Draper, can you raise your arm and identify yourself?
Yes. I'm Zamar Draper, Jr.
thank you, sir. Mr. Stone,
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
okay, counsel,
Yes, Your Honor, I did receive discovery yesterday. I took a copy out to Mr. Draper last night. At this particular time, we would like to set it for an in-court examination.
Christie. What's
as
our
soon as
date?
possible.
November 25th.
Mr. Tuttles,
I'm looking at my calendar now, Your Honor. What time?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
I can do that.
Any objection to that, Mr. Draper?
No, sir.
That's your in-court exam. You got that, Christie?
Yes, Judge.
Anything else, counsel?
Yes, one other issue, question, Your Honor, as relates to bond. I did file a motion on this matter, an emergency motion, but I would just like to just reiterate and see if you would just at least put a 10% provision on his bond. Because right now his bond is what I would consider excessive. In court, I just want to be cognizant that my client did turn himself in after we contacted, or my office contacted the officer in this case. He's 23 years old. He's graduated from high school. He was employed as a graphic designer at the time that he was arrested. He has college in his past. He is a lifelong resident of the area. He obviously have a lot of family support because the family did retain me, and he does live with his parents. He does live with his parents and can return to that home. So I think a reduction, just a 10% provision, and with a GPS tether would be, and obviously a no contact provision would be reasonable.
Mr. Stone, your response.
Your Honor, same response as we last heard this bond argument, Judge. It's a life felony, attempted murder. Fortunately for the victim and for the defendant, the 3 shots that were fired at the victim did not strike her. So that's why we're looking at an attempt and not an actual possible murder.
Yeah, well, here's what I'll do. I'll reduce it, Mr. Tuttles. 350,000, cash surety only, GPS tether required, no contact with a complaining witness. Any questions?
I just want to be clear on something. That looks like just so I'm clear, you said 350?
Correct.
Right now, I think it's 200,000 now.
It's 500, right, Christie? What do you got, Christie?
I'm looking right now, Judge. I think it's, yeah, it was just small. Yes, I have 500,000.
It's 500,000, Mr. Tuttles.
Okay, understood, Your Honor. Thank you for the reduction.
I reduced it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. With a GPS tether.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Have a great day. Good luck to you, Mr. Draper.
Okay, I'll be to see you, Mr. Draper.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. You and your staff have a great day.
You too, Mr. Tuttles.
Okay.
What is this, dude? I don't know.
Yep. What else we got?
Collins is in jail. Kathy Galen is on that.
Is she there, Christie?
Kathy Galen is here, yes.
Collins?
Is Collins here or is Collins in jail? I'm sorry.
He's in jail.
Yep, I have Collins. Okay.
He does have 2 new cases he hasn't been arraigned on. I told Kathy that it's probably too late in the hour to get those files to the judge. So I don't know what she's going to do.
They're with us?
Yeah, they're in your court, but there's no date set on them or anything like that. She was hoping to resolve everything today or at one time, but.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a retail fraud and a UTA. That he has not been arraigned on. They're in warrant status.
Do this one. Yeah, Kathy, sign up. See if Jill will pop it.
Let me bring,
Galen?
I'm going to bring Galen in, yes.
Hi, Judge.
Hi, Kathy. How are you?
Good. Nice to see you.
Good to see you. We're here on Collins.
Okay. We're ready.
Yeah,
Mr.
we need Collins. Thomas Collins.
Thomas, right?
Can you hear us, sir?
Yeah, yes.
Let me call the case. People versus Collins, 2-0-5790. Counsel,
For the record, Kathleen Galen appearing on behalf of Thomas Collins.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
Mr. Collins, your name?
Thomas Collins.
Thank you. Counsel,
Judge, there is another file. We adjourned this once, hoping that the two files would pair up. There is a retail fraud third charge from August 31st, 2020, that we wanted to resolve together. I was hoping we could,
there's another one too.
yeah, it
He's
looks like
got
there's
two
two.
outstanding.
Right. So I was hoping we could pair them up and adjourn it for 1 week.
Christie,
I can do that. He just has to be arraigned on the other two.
oh, so you want to set it for election day, Kathy?
No.
I didn't think so.
Can
we
2
adjourn it 2 weeks?
Please.
And
And
Christie,
I
can we
was
get him
gonna
on the
ask,
arraignment? Christie,
Yes, I can go grab the files. Or do you want me to do it another
we don't
day?
need to arraign, you want to arraign him today? It's up to you.
we're fine arraigning them. If the court would appoint me to these files, we
So
would
you know-
stand mute.
You know what
stand
the
mute for
charges are?
We do.
Okay. Christie, call the cases.
Let me get to them. I have case number 26516. I have 26837 on Thomas Lee Collins.
Thank you. Ms. Galen,
Your Honor, on both of those charges, we would waive formal reading and stand mute to the charges and ask the court to enter a not guilty plea.
I will enter that plea of not guilty. We'll appoint you, Ms. Galen, on these charges. We'll set it for a pretrial 2 weeks from today, which is the 10th. What would you like to tell me regarding bond, Ms. Galen?
Your Honor, my client has been in jail as of today, 47 days. He's indicated to me I was able to talk to him at the jail. If the court would consider releasing him on a personal bond, that he would appear for all future proceedings. Is that correct, Mr. Thomas or Mr. Collins?
Yes.
I'm going to set the bond. It's $2,500, cash, surety, or 10% on each file. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you, Judge.
See you then, Mr. Collins.
All right.
Take care, everybody.
You too.
That's it for you, Kathy.
Christie, I think we're going to do Collins next to get him out of here.
We just did
Or
Collins.
I'm sorry, Goddard.
Goddard, yes, because he's in the building.
Right.
Who, the defendant?
Yes.
How about the attorney?
She's on Zoom.
I don't know, was Karen having them come in?
There's Ms. Frears.
Gonna have to tell the judge what happened.
I'm bringing him in.
Sorry, Your Honor, that was my client.
Mr. Goddard?
Yes, I believe he's coming into the courtroom now. Jeff, he changed his mind. He's going to plead.
Okay.
Christie, will we have the camera set up?
I'm gonna have to dial into the Polycom. And we're gonna get back feed, so hang on 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, you're gonna have to hold on till I'm done, then I'll help you. So you try one more time. Try one more time. That's right.
What's the plea to here?
It's an OWI second, Your Honor.
He's
Is that the
pleading
only-
to it?
Yes. Is that the only charge, Jeff? I was just gonna text you.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. And then Jeff, you know the other one I have, Miss Cooks Thompson?
Right.
Okay.
Clean this house. With a Pringles can.
Can you still hear it?
Yes.
Can you see the defendant?
No.
He's in the very,
He's in the very far seat.
yes.
Got it.
Can
Can we
move
do it
on?
now? How's that, Christie?
Can you hear her?
I can hear you, yes.
I can hear you.
Okay, now can everybody hear?
We can hear.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me call the case. People versus Goddard, 205358. Counsel,
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. For the record, Dana Frears appearing on behalf of Mr. Goddard.
Mr. Goddard, your name, please.
Your name?
Ernest Lee Goddard.
Thank you, counsel.
Your Honor, this is the date and time set for a pretrial on this matter. I have spoken with the prosecutor and my client will be tendering a plea of guilty as charged to operating while intoxicated, second offense.
Thank you. And Mr. Goddard, do you understand what's happening here?
Do you understand what's happening here?
Yes, I do.
Do you have any questions?
No.
And you understand your
Well,
pleading?
yes, I do. Can I get this tether taken off of me?
Mr. Goddard, we can address that with the court after the plea.
She said we can address that after the plea.
Okay.
So do you have any questions?
No.
And you understand you're pleading guilty to a 1-year misdemeanor?
I can't hear him.
He can't hear. Hang on, he can't hear you.
Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you.
I still can't hear.
Maybe if you come over this way, you might be able to
Can you hear me now, Mr. Goddard?
Not very clearly. But I can hear you, yes.
Okay. Understand you're pleading guilty to a 1-year misdemeanor?
I still
a
can't.
1-year misdemeanor.
You just.
Do you understand you're pleading guilty?
Okay.
Do you understand you're pleading guilty to a
Hang on, I
1-year
gotta turn
misdemeanor,
him
sir?
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Do you understand that you're pleading guilty to a 1-year misdemeanor?
Yes,
You're not going to have a trial,
I realize that.
and you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? You're waiving all your rights?
Yes,
as to the charge, operating while intoxicated, second offense, a 1-year misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
Were you in the city of East Point on or about August 20th of this year?
I heard August 20th.
Were you in
That
the
was the
city?
date of the offense, yes.
Were you driving a car?
I was driving, yes.
Did you have something to drink before you drove?
Throughout the day, yes, I had a couple of beers.
And was there a breathalyzer, Ms. Frears?
No breathalyzer, Your Honor. There was a blood test. We would stipulate to the results of 0.18.
Thank you. And sir, were you driving that vehicle while you were intoxicated?
I had had a few beers earlier, intoxicated. That's what the test says, yes.
Well, what do you say?
I say that I wasn't intoxicated. That wasn't, the accident wasn't a result of alcohol.
Ms. Frears?
Mr. Goddard, this is what we talked about earlier with trial versus a plea. You indicated you wanted to plead guilty to the offense.
Yes.
The offense is operating while intoxicated. If you feel you weren't intoxicated, you can't plead guilty.
Then let's take the other alternative. No. Okay, yes, I'm guilty of driving while intoxicated. Yes.
And you have a prior offense?
Yes.
When and where?
That was in center line in, I don't know the date offhand.
Judge,
Have
that
we
would be
complied?
August 20th, 2017, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have we complied?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm satisfied.
Thank you. I'm going to accept the plea. Christie, when would our sentencing date be?
December 8th at 1 o'clock?
How's that, Ms. Frears?
Perfect, Your Honor. Thank you.
That's the sentencing date, December 8th at 1. Sir, are you still living on Lauren?
Yes.
Okay. My probation department will contact you. Anything else?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Yes. May I address bond?
Go ahead.
Your Honor, my client is currently on a tether. It's my understanding he's been on the tether since the August offense. He hasn't had any violations. My client indicated he has not consumed any alcohol since the accident. I realize his blood results were a bit high, but my client is currently on disability. The tether does pose quite a financial hardship to him. I would ask the court to consider removing the tether.
Mr. Stone?
Judge, I'll leave it to your discretion, but I think some type of testing needs to be done.
I'm going to eliminate the tether.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're all set. And who else do you have, Dana?
I have Miss Cooks Thompson.
That one we're waiting on.
Or no? I can, yeah. I'll be right, I gotta shut this off.
What are we doing on this?
Your Honor, we're setting this one for a jury trial. Poor Christy.
He does it all.
I feel so bad.
It's all your fault, Dana.
I know.
Wouldn't go to your office and have that poor man come to your office.
Sorry, Christy.
That's okay. Now,
Do we have Cooks Thompson?
okay, really quick. You have to hover over me. And there's going to be 3 little dots. I need to be back to the host.
Did I go up front? Yep, you go out those doors to the counter. Well.
Yeah, it's not letting me take the, oh, hang on. I got it. I did it. Okay. And Cooks Thompson is in the waiting room. I had to rename her, so let me
Right.
just go through these thousands of people that I have in here. There she is.
Can you hear us, ma'am?
I can.
Let me call the case. People versus Cooks Thompson, 204479. Counsel.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. For the record, Dana Freer is appearing on behalf of Miss Cooks Thompson.
And ma'am, your name, please.
Zany Cooks Thompson.
Thank you, counsel.
Your Honor, I have had several conversations with my client, and I have spoken with Mr. Stone. At this time, we are unable to reach a resolution, and we are requesting a jury trial date.
Okay. We'll set it for a final pretrial. Same date, Ms. Frears,
That works, Your Honor.
Christie. And that was
I'll
December
be-
8th.
Yep, December 8th at 1 o'clock.
Any questions, ma'am?
No.
We'll see you then.
Thank you.
Your Honor,
Thank
could I have a
you.
moment to call my witness and excuse her?
Yes.
You're all set, Miss Cooks Thompson.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
That's it for
everybody.
you, Dana?
Yes, I'm really
Have a good
sorry,
one.
Christy. Thank you,
It's
guys.
just a little dicey. We did it.
You guys, yes, you did.
He didn't take his hat off.
IG was my.
Sorry, that attorney was outside. He'd ask me a question, I go back and answer it, and he asked me, and I'm going, dude, you know.
Yeah, I know. Believe me.
He's got a lot of issues. Do you have that file for that older guy that needs his cutter off or whatever?
All right. Want to try Womack again with Hudspeth?
Let's try. Need the files right here. You can have this one.
That's the case number. Okay, I'm bringing in Mr. Womack. Here, just bring it back.
Hey, Dap,
Yes, sir.
do you have Hudspeth?
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can you hear us, Mr. Hudspeth?
Yes.
Let me call the case. People versus Hudspeth, 206926. Counsel,
Yes, Doug Womack, representing Mr. Hud Smith.
Good afternoon,
Mr.
Your Honor.
Stone.
Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
Mr. Hudspeth, your name, please.
Dayani Hudspeth.
Thank you. Counsel,
It's our intention to waive the case up to the circuit court, Judge.
is that right, Mr. Hudspeth?
Yes.
You understand what's happening here?
Yes.
Understand you have a right to an exam?
Yes.
You're waiving that right,
Yes.
and you know you're not going to have an exam of any kind.
Yes.
And accept the waiver, going to bind it over to circuit court.
Okay.
Pre-trial arraignment date, Mr. Stone?
Your Honor, it's going to be November 9th at 1:30 with Judge Drusinski.
Mr. Womack, any questions?
No, Judge.
Any questions, Mr. Hudspeth?
No.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Womack.
All set?
Christie, were you able to retrieve that jail list?
I was.
Okay.
So I have Tammy Asher. And I didn't see Mr. Streefkirk. Oh, Mr. Streefkirk is in here. And I know he's got a couple. We might
Any
have a-
jailers?
Yes, he has Tammy Asher, who is in custody. And I have to ask them, I sent for one that we arraigned on a new case yesterday. They have her listed as not here, but she wasn't there, but now she's probably back there. So I have to ask them about that. I have
Okay.
Hakeem Crisp, and that is Azar Sheik.
Oh, yeah, Kumar's on that case. Kumar's got a couple, I forgot. He's in there waiting. Kumar has Crisp and then Matten.
And Matten and Crisp are both prisoners.
When that's with, who is that with?
With Kumar,
Kumar?
Palapu. So if you guys want to take care of him, that's fine with me.
We'll do that.
And that's going to be Crisp and Matten. Hakeem Crisp and Asante Matten.
What are we going to do first, Mr. Palapu?
We can do Crisp first, I believe, because Mr. Sheik is going to ask for a forensic.
I will bring in Mr. Sheik.
We haven't done that one yet.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Mr. Sheik,
How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
We need Mr. Crisp. Hakeem
Okay.
Crisp.
Okay, I'll get him. Hakeem Chris.
Can you hear us, sir? Mr. Chris?
Yeah.
Let me call the
No.
case. You can't hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. People versus Chris, 206677. Counsel,
Kumar Palapu for the people, P74099.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. May it please the court, Azar Sheikh, P number 52365, appearing here for Mr. Chris, who consents to appear by Zoom and waives his right to be physically present.
Mr. Crisp, your name, please.
Yes.
Your name, please.
Yes.
No, please
What's
state
your
your name,
name?
Mr. Chris.
No. Yes.
Mr. Chris, please state your name.
My name,
Yes,
Hakeem.
Chris?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Counsel,
Yes, Your Honor, my client has some mental and emotional issues. He has a long history. I would like to refer him to the Forensic Center as to evaluation for competency and criminal responsibility. I did go see him. There are serious issues.
Mr. Palpu.
I don't really take any position on that, but I do understand from hearing from Mr. Sheik that that's what he said he was intending to do today. I believe I did read somewhere there is a mental health history, so I will take my file down to administration where they're going to get that going. Fill out all the paperwork.
I'm going to refer it to forensic. Do we have a review date, Crispy or Christy? Crispy.
Let's go
Christy?
with December 1st at 1 o'clock.
How's that, Mr. Sheik?
December 1st at 1 o'clock? That's perfectly fine, Your Honor.
That's our review date. Any
Thanks,
questions, Mr. Chris?
Yes.
Mr. Sheik?
Mr. Chris, did you have a question or are we set?
No.
You know what's going on, right?
No.
Yeah, you're going for the forensics exam, okay? Just like we talked about, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Your Honor, just
You're all set.
December 1st at 1 p.m., correct?
Correct.
Thank you so much.
Is that all you have, Azar?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Have a great day.
You too. Everybody stay well and safe, please.
You too, Azar.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And then if they want to bring Matten in, I will pull in Mr. Mihana.
Matten.
Matten? Matten? Basante Matten?
I mean, I think he's deaf, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hear them.
He's at the hospital.
Oh,
Is that the one on
Hold
top?
on, I don't know.
No.
Where is it at? Oh, it's right there,
Madden. Sante Madden. Corners of that.
Do we need an interpreter here?
Madden. 7F4. Oh, Bill got him.
We're looking.
I remember.
Is it him?
Yeah, let the judge know he doesn't. The interpreter didn't hear it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's gonna, yes, need a sign.
Right, so
interpreter.
he's,
Yeah, okay,
So-
they got it.
okay.
He's deaf. Christy?
I believe, Judge, I believe I remember from the arraignment, yes.
He's deaf.
So do we have an interpreter?
I do not have one.
Gentlemen?
Well, I guess, what's the next date, the fastest date you can get us where we can have an interpreter for him?
Christy?
For the PCC, I can try, we could do it November 4th on that 1 o'clock on that Wednesday, just to get them back quickly.
If that's okay with Mr. Mihana, that's fine with me.
Is that okay, Mr.?
November the 4th at 1?
Yes.
Okay. And just for the record, I don't have any discovery yet.
But you filed your appearance, right, and sent your email to Discovery Unit, right?
I'm court appointed on this.
You should have received it. I'll go down to Discovery to make sure that you're on the list.
Yeah, I mean, I get other cases for this one, and
Yeah,
I
that's
another
strange.
case I didn't get.
I'll go downstairs right now. I'm going down there anyway for the other case, and I'll make sure that you're on the list for the Discovery.
It's adjourned until November 4th at 1.
Then another question, I don't know if the court would be able to help. Given Judge that he needs sign language, I would need somebody so I can communicate with him when I visit him at the jail. Does the court have any information about how to get somebody?
Alpu?
You know, I think that when the court contacts the translator, if they could ask if it's possible to have them help with Mr. Mihana and the defendant either that day or a different day, because we're going to need them on a continual basis.
You're right.
And I think that judicial aid may appoint the interpreter, so I'll get that paperwork over there today.
Okay, thank you so much. But I'll get on that Discovery issue right now so that you have it, Mr. Mihana, for next week.
Okay.
Hopefully they'll just email it to you today.
Okay.
So we'll see him on November 4th.
Yes.
At 1 o'clock.
All right. Thanks, Judge. Thanks, Mr. Mihana.
Thank you.
Got
Take
that,
care.
Step?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And Kumar, this is going to be your case the rest of the
Yeah,
way?
it's my case, so you can just,
Okay.
I'm your point of contact.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right,
Have a
sure.
good day, everybody. Thank
too.
you.
Bye-bye.
You too, Mr. Mihana.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Are we done with Kumar?
Yeah, we're done with Kumar. I guess Lisa Lozen's in the waiting room as well. Adebayo or Klein.
Either one of those jailers?
Adebayo is the one that she was on our jail list. They said not here, but she had new charges out of here, new local charges yesterday. So I don't know if they transported to the county. And the other one is not a prisoner. I have
Well, should we see if they have that prisoner?
Yes, and then I still have 9 other prisoners on the,
Wait a minute. You told me we only had 8.
good, I didn't remember offhand, Judge. So let's see if they have Adebayo.
Do I have that file, Ross? What's the name, Christy?
Christina Adebayo.
You got her. Hold on, ma'am. Who's the attorney, Christy?
I'm looking right now, Judge Parnell, and I believe I saw him in here.
Hello, Miss Lozen.
Hello, Judge. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Has Mr. David Parnell or Sean Coppins checked in? Do we know?
I have Sean Coppins. I'm looking, I thought I saw Mr. Parnell here. I'm just.
Yeah, I just called and talked to him at lunch.
Who has Adebayo?
I do.
No.
And that's with Mr. Parnell.
Parnell.
And I don't see him.
You don't have Parnell?
I don't, Judge.
Ma'am, we'll have to wait on your case, okay?
Okay.
Have a seat. We'll recall it.
I do have Mr. Coppins and Keene.
Spell it.
Keine.
And he's not a prisoner.
They're not a prisoner.
You have Keen there.
Yes.
Let's do that one. Mr. Coppins,
Good afternoon.
how are you?
Good. How are you today?
Great, thanks. We've got Keen.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you hear us, ma'am?
There it goes.
You can hear us?
I can.
Your name?
Christina Kiney.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
Case number 207115. Counsel.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Lisa Lozen for the people.
And for the record, Your Honor, I'm Sean Coppins, appearing on behalf of the defendant in this matter.
Ms. Kiney, your name again, please?
Christina Kiney.
Thank you. Counsel.
Judge, we're just asking that this matter continue to exam. I've talked to my client about whether we should hold this matter via Zoom or wait till live hearings are available. My client is agreeable to proceed by Zoom if that pleases the court.
That's great. Christy.
Yes.
Okay.
No, that's my clerk, ma'am.
Okay.
December 8th at 1.
How's that, Mr. Coppins?
That's
No,
a
I'm
good
sorry,
deal.
December 9th. I'm sorry, December 9th.
December 9th at 1.
I like either one. I'll take the 9th at 1 o'clock. Perfect.
And this is
How
by
about-
Zoom.
Yes.
Okay.
How about you, Ms. Kiney? Is that okay?
That works perfect.
That's your court date, December 9th at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Nothing else?
Thank you.
Nothing further.
Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you so
Judge,
much.
I guess there is one question that we have. Ms. Kiney is subject to a no contact provision. She has some personal belongings that she would like to get from the house. We're hoping she could go there one time with a police civil standby and collect those items.
You can either do that through a third party or have the police stand by.
Okay. Excellent.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
You're
you.
all set. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Any luck on the Parnell?
I'm looking right now, Judge. I still don't see him, no.
And that's all you have, Ms. Lozen?
She's frozen.
I see that.
Oh, she left. She must be. So I have Miss Asher in jail with Mr. Streefkirk, and Mr. Streefkirk is here.
Let's do it.
Kylie's done.
Do you have Asher?
Asher?
Can you hear us, Miss Asher?
Yeah.
Mr. Streefkirk?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Let me call the case. People versus Asher, 207183. Counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Ryan Streefkirk on behalf of Ms. Ashner, P72912.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
Ms. Asher, your name, please.
Tammy Asher.
Thank you. Counsel.
Thank you. Mr. Stone did reach out to me I think he reached out to me yesterday, advised me that there is an offer. He also stated that this was overcharged. It charges the delivery manufacturing, but it should have been a simple possession, but that was due to a clerical error. However, there is an offer to plead to an added count 2 use of cocaine, which is a 1-year misdemeanor. But this is the first time I'm advising Ms. Ashner of it. I haven't spoken with her yet.
So what would you like to do, Mr. Streefkirk?
Ms. Ashner, did you hear what's on the table? They're willing to dismiss what should have been a 4-year felony in exchange for a 1-year misdemeanor. I can either plea you today to that, or I can adjourn it so that we have more time to talk about your case and see if
You said 1-year misdemeanor. What does that mean? Like jail time?
it's maximum 1 year of jail. It doesn't mean you're going to get 1 year jail, but is the maximum possible penalty.
Is it possible I can do probation or something?
Yes, it is possible.
Okay.
Do you feel comfortable pleading to a 1-year misdemeanor today, knowing that a 20-year felony will be dismissed?
Yes.
So you'd like to do that, Mr. Streefkirk?
Yes, I would, Your Honor.
And so you understand what's happening here, ma'am?
Yes and no. I mean, I don't know the law like you guys do, but, you know, I understand that it's being dropped to a lesser charge.
Mr. Streefkirk?
Ms. Ashner, you are charged with a felony. So if you need more time to talk about this, then we can adjourn. But, you know, it's going to mean you're probably sitting in jail for 2 weeks while we can talk and reschedule. I don't want that to pressure you into pleading today. But
I don't want to be charged with a felony.
so by pleading today, you're eliminating any chance of being convicted of a felony, and you're guaranteed to get a conviction for a maximum 1-year misdemeanor for use of cocaine.
Okay.
Okay. Would you like to accept that plea today?
Yes.
Okay.
So do you have any questions, ma'am?
Can I get probation or something?
You would be sentenced at a
Probation
later date. You wouldn't be sentenced today because this is a drug crime, and the court is going to have to order you to be screened, and we'll have to come back for sentencing.
I'll probably sentence her today, Mr. Streefkirk.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. You heard that. Then you'll probably be sentenced today.
Okay.
So do you have any questions, ma'am?
Yes, I would like to know if I can get probation or drug court or something like that and be
Mr.
released on a
Streefkirk?
PR. And be released on a PR.
She's clearly not satisfied.
I agree.
I'm going to adjourn the case.
I'm not saying I'm not satisfied. You asked if I had questions, Your Honor.
You're right, Miss
I know,
Ashley. You've done nothing wrong. It would be my fault. I didn't know you were in jail. We didn't have adequate time to communicate. So if you're not comfortable, then the court's not comfortable accepting the plea.
I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable.
I can't get a guarantee for probation. There's no guarantee that the judge is going to give you probation. He may give you probation, but I can't give you any sort of guarantee.
Okay. I'm comfortable.
So do you have any questions?
No.
Understand you're pleading guilty to a 1 year.
Yes.
You're not going to have a trial of any kind. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You're waiving all your rights.
Okay.
So as the charge of use of a controlled substance, a 1 year misdemeanor, how do you plead, ma'am?
Guilty.
Were you in the city of East Point on or about October 19th of this year?
Yes.
And what did you do, ma'am, which caused you to plead guilty?
I was in possession of crack.
And did you use that crack?
No, it was confiscated.
You were about to, is that right, ma'am?
Yes, I was going.
Thank you. Have we complied, counsel?
Yes, you have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're asking for immediate sentencing, Mr. Streefkirk?
Yes, I am.
Anything you want to tell me, Mr. Stone?
No, Your Honor. Other than the plea was offered because the defendant's criminal history is minimal.
Thank you, Mr. Streefkirk.
Thank you. I'd just like to reiterate, originally this was charged as a delivery, but the facts of the case, the police report, everything indicates it originally should have been a possession charge. And I think Mr. Stone would agree to that. We discussed that over the telephone. So it's not a huge reduction, but it still is a substantial reduction. I would ask the court to consider probation. As the prosecutor said, she has minimal criminal record. She's been incarcerated since her arrest on this. Ask the court to consider her for a candidate for probation.
Anything you want to tell me, Ms. Asher?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Anything you want to say?
I just want to go home and, you know, do what I got to do to get this behind me.
Anything else, Mr. Streefkirk?
No, Your Honor.
It's 12 months reporting probation, first 8 days Macomb County Jail, credit for the 8 days you've served. While you're on probation, no similar conduct, no non-prescriptive drugs, no alcohol, random testing. I'm referring you to my probation department for possible counseling. As far as fines and costs are concerned, it's $200 in fines, $210 in costs, $50 state fee, $75 crime victims' rights fee. I'll give you 90 days to pay. No arrests, no conviction. Do you have any questions, Mr. Streefkirk?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions, ma'am?
What exactly does that mean?
Mr. Streefkirk?
You're getting out of jail today because you've been
Okay.
given the credit for you've been served. When you get out,
Okay.
you need to contact East Point District Court Probation Department, and they're going to tell you what you need to do, okay?
Okay.
Are you living on St. Bernard, ma'am?
No.
Can you give us an address?
10511 Whittier.
Detroit?
Yes.
You got that, Christie?
Yes, Judge.
Your Honor, for the record, the PAC code for that plea is MCL 333.74042A.
Thank you, Mr. Stone. Anything else, Mr. Streefkirk?
No, Your Honor. Thank you for your patience.
Good luck, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What else you have? Mr.
I
Streefkirk?
have three others. I have a Joshua Self, a Kristen Till, and a Christopher Murray, all out on bond.
Who do you want next, Jeff?
It doesn't matter to me, Your Honor.
Give me one.
Self.
Which one?
Self. I don't know.
Self?
It's top of my list. Yeah.
And Mr. Self is in the waiting room.
Sorry about that last file, Your Honor. Sometimes these Zoom handicap you really bad.
I get it. Mr. Self? Joshua Self?
Joshua.
Joshua Self? Who else we got?
Kristen Till. I've spoken with all of these people too, so we've got our ducks in a row.
I
Got
do
that one,
have
Christie?
I do have Kristen Till in the waiting room.
It's going to be a plea.
Kristen Till?
Hello, can you hear me?
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Let me call the case. People versus Kristen Till, 207011. Counsel.
Good afternoon, Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
Ryan Streefkirk for the defense.
Your name, ma'am?
Kristen Amanda Till.
Thank you, counsel.
Thank you. Mr. Stone reached out to me and offered a plea agreement, which my client would like to accept. The people will dismiss counts 1 and count 2. In exchange, my client would be pleading no contest to added count 3, attempt unlawful use of a motor vehicle, and added count 4, larceny less than $200. The reason for the no contest plea is she was intoxicated and doesn't have much memory due to the excitement of the incident. Also, as a condition of the plea, restitution must be paid in an amount to be determined.
Is that right, Mr. Stone?
Not a condition of the plea, Judge. It's just the restitution amount is to be determined.
Okay, thank you.
And the possible sentence on these?
1 year.
Judge, yeah, it's a 1 year and in a 93-day.
Correct.
Thank you. And Ms. Till, do you understand what's happening here?
Mostly it's 1 year probation. Sort of.
Mr. Streefkirk.
Ms. Till, we spoke for a good 45 minutes yesterday, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I explained they'll dismiss both felonies and you'll plead no contest to 2 added misdemeanors. One of the misdemeanors has a maximum penalty of 1 year. The other has a maximum penalty of 93 days jail. That doesn't mean you will be sentenced to 1 year or 93 or not even 1 day in jail. You could, but it's not, it doesn't mean that. That's the maximum penalty.
Okay. Thank you.
So do you understand all that, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that I'm going to treat a no contest plea just like it's a guilty plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're not going to have a trial of any kind.
No.
And you're pleading no contest freely and voluntarily.
Yes.
So then adds to count 3, unlawful use of a motor vehicle or attempted unlawful use of a motor vehicle. How do you plead, ma'am?
No contest.
And larceny under $200. How do you plead, ma'am?
No contest.
Thank you. And the factual basis, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. Reading from East Point Police Report number 20M89466, which states that on October 11th, 2020, Officer Beam took a unlawful driving away of an automobile report from Haley Donahue Campu. Haley advised at boyfriend Kevin Wilson's house at 24235 Rosa Lind, where her 2020 Ford F-150 was parked. After going to the bar, Kristen Till came back to Haley and Kevin's, where they agreed to engage in some activities. Short time later, Wilson advised Till to leave the home. Till then grabbed Haley's purse containing her wallet, cell phone, and keys to the listed vehicle. Haley advised she observed Till drive the F-150 away. Haley followed the vehicle to 26251 Ronald, where verbal arguments ensued. Later that evening, Wilson and Till drove to Ronald and recovered his vehicle and Haley's personal belongings. Till admitted in interview.
Defense would stipulate.
You're both satisfied?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to accept the plea. Are you asking for immediate sentencing?
Defense is asking for immediate sentencing. Yes.
Mr. Stone?
Nothing on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Mr. Streefkirk?
I spoke to Ms. Till for a good 45 minutes yesterday. Seems like a nice girl. This seemed like an incident that just kind of boiled over and got out of hand. She had met these boyfriend and girlfriend at a bar. They went over back to their house for some recreational activities. That doesn't include drugs. She freaked out and she ran out of the house. She took the F-150, and inside the F-150 was the woman of the house's purse. She doesn't remember much of the incident due to some alcohol and just the excitement of the situation, which triggered a fight or flight reaction. She's not excusing her actions, but this thing kind of boiled over. positively speaking, she's employed. She works at Michael's Crafts in Macomb Mall. Before that, she did babysitting and received income from the state of Michigan. She presently resides in a stable home with her mom, sister, and daughter. I think she's going to be a fine candidate for probation. She understands she did wrong. She'd like to atone for that. So I'd ask the court to place her on probation.
Thank you. Ms. Till, anything you want to tell me?
The lawyer kind of said it all. I'm not a person who, this is not my character. This was definitely a situation that even I can't believe happened and went down like that. And I do want to atone for it because I am that kind of person. You won't have any problems with me at all. I will take care of this exactly how you need me to, but hopefully from outside here, because I'm very important to the people here. I'm still currently babysitting, doing my job at Michael. And I would appreciate and thank you so much if we could just.
Anything else, Mr. Streefkirk?
None, Your Honor.
So sends of the court, 12 months reporting probation. While you're on probation, no similar conduct, no arrests, no convictions. I'm referring you to my probation department for possible counseling. No arrests, no convictions, fines and costs on the unlawful use of a motor vehicle. It's $100 in fines, $110 in costs, $50 state fee, and $75 crime victims' rights fee. On the larceny, it's $200 in fines, $210 in costs, and a $50 state fee. I'll give her 90 days to pay her fines and costs. Any questions, Mr. Streefkirk?
None, Your Honor.
Any questions, Ms. Till?
No, Your Honor.
Are you still living on Topher?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My probation department will be in contact.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Any questions? You're all set, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
What else do you have, Ryan?
Self was a failure, but we can try Christopher Murray.
Murray, we did off the record.
Oh, we did off the record?
Yeah.
Okay, do we have a date to be determined or do?
I do. Give me one sec.
Thank you. And Jeff, are you going to request the lab on that?
Yeah, it's already being done.
Okay, thank you.
I scheduled it for a PCC on December 1st at 1.
Good date. And then all I have left is Self, which is going to be a carbon copy of Murray's case. I need to FOIA the video and request that the prosecution obtain the state lab.
See if we can get a hold of them.
I did talk to him on the phone today.
Mr. South? So we're just adjourning this, Jeff or Ryan?
Yes, I mean, as an officer of the court, I can say I talked to him for 15 minutes today about this hearing. Yes, I need to FOIA the police video. He wishes to contest this case fully, and we also need the lab.
So we'll set it for that same date, December 1st.
That would be great.
Okay? Anything else?
That's all, thankfully.
You're all set.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Have a great one.
You too. Thank you, Judge. See you, Judge.
Yeah.
I do have Mr. Parnell in here now.
And who's that on? Adebayo?
Yes.
She was with the jail.
Yep. What's that? Wow.
Well, how do you do?
Very
Good
good.
afternoon.
I'm gonna put you back in the waiting room really quick. I grabbed you on accident.
No, that's fine. At least I know I'm still alive. Hi, Judge.
How are you?
I'm good, sir.
You're alive.
I am. Thank you. All right, I'll be back in the waiting room. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, they keep moving on me here.
Hey, Deb? Adebayo? Ready, Mr. Parnell? Mr. Parnell? Can you hear us? Christie?
Yes.
No, I'm talking about Mike Christie. Can you get a sign?
And I think he was frozen, but I think he might be coming back. There we go. Okay.
Can you hear us, Mr. Parnell?
He's connected to audio, I believe. I think he's.
We can't hear you, Mr. Parnell. Do you have his phone number, Ms. Lozen?
I have his office phone number.
Let's do something.
I can call him.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, it looks like he's freezing up, so I don't know if it's their
Internet?
Yeah.
Wi-Fi?
Yeah, because ours has been wonderful here all day.
As usual?
Yes. Looks like he's back in my waiting room.
Yeah,
Try
Chris,
again.
he's back in your waiting room. All right, okay. Thanks.
There we go.
You can hear us.
I can hear you.
Let me call the case. People versus Adebayo, 207109. Counsel.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Lisa Lozen for the people.
Morning, Your Honor. David Parnell here on behalf of Ms. Adebayo. Here for the purpose of
Ma'am,
pre-conference today, Your Honor.
Ma'am, your name, please.
Christina Adebayo.
Thank you. Counsel.
Judge, I spoke with defense counsel earlier. At this time, we're not offering anything. So I believe that they're just going to ask that this case be set for an exam.
Is that right, Mr. Parnell?
Correct, Your Honor. That is
In
correct.
person or by Zoom? In person.
By Zoom, Your Honor.
Christie.
Zoom's fine, whatever sooner, because I know she's in custody.
I can do that December 9th again, Judge.
December 9th.
If that's the soonest available, sure.
At 1 p.m.?
Yes.
Yes. That's your date.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We'll see you then, Ms. Adebayo.
I do believe.
Are we all set?
I do believe I have one more up, which was also, I spoke with the prosecutor yesterday. We were just going to set it for exam to the soonest possible date.
What's that file name?
That one is Devontae McFarland.
Is that with you, Ms. Lozen?
No, it's not.
Oh,
It's with Mr. Stone?
I believe I spoke with Jeffrey Stone yesterday.
Mr. Stone,
Yes, Your Honor.
with it, we have McFarland.
McFarland, actually, he has two files, two separate attorneys. I'm not aware if he's present, but
I spoke
I
with
think-
him this morning. He was trying to come on to Zoom. I'd be willing to waive his appearance if we can just get an exam date, Your Honor.
Any objection, Mr. Stone?
no, Judge, I think actually that might have been on my off-record file. So I think I've already sent that paperwork to the court.
Did get it on one. There may be another one in my email, but I didn't. I do have one for an adjourn for discovery. And that's on the misdemeanor.
Who's the other attorney?
Justin Andrews.
Well, we'll just adjourn yours, Mr. Parnell, okay?
Thank you. Well, could we set it for exam?
Yeah, I sent it, Christie. I had indicated to set for Zoom exam. Defendant weighs 21 days.
Okay.
Yep, that's fine.
We'll set it for that same date.
Great.
Right, Christie?
Yes, Judge.
Is that it?
Yes.
We all set, Mr. Parnell?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, we are.
Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks. Might need one of them back.
We got jailers still to take care of, or?
Yes,
We
we
do.
do. We have Hall and Hammonds with Andrews. Let's see. That's the exam. Let me see, Johnny Jackson. I have Johnny Jackson. And I have it's a carjacking. I have the attorney in the waiting room.
Okay.
He's a prisoner?
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Jackson?
Need Jackson in here? Okay.
Johnny Jackson.
Johnny Jackson?
Can you hear us, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Let me call the case. People versus Johnny Jackson, 207101. Counsel.
Good afternoon, Judge Adel Haradwala appearing on behalf of Mr. Jackson. He waives his presence in the courtroom and is appearing by polycom.
Thank
Good
you, Mr.
afternoon,
Stone.
Your Honor, Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
Your name, Mr. Jackson?
Yes, Johnny
Jackson, Johnny Jackson, my name, sir.
Thank you, thank you. Counsel,
Your Honor, we're going to be holding the preliminary exam at a future date and time. The 21-day rule is waived by my client. I've spoken to him at length through Polycom at the county jail. He understands what the 21-day rule is. I did tell him it'll take me time to prepare this during COVID. I've spoken with Mr. Stone as well. We are waiting for Your Honor to set a date which is convenient to everybody.
in person or by Zoom?
By Zoom, Judge. I'm immunocompromised, so I cannot come in person.
Christie?
I'm just double checking dates here because I'm filling up pretty quick.
Although, Judge, I can hardly wait to come and see all of you guys again.
I bet.
I can do December 2nd at 1 o'clock.
December 2nd at 1 o'clock, which is a Wednesday afternoon, is great.
That's your court date, sir.
All right.
Any questions?
No, sir.
We'll see you then.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Is that it?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. I'll
Have a
make a
great
bond
afternoon.
motion, Judge, after the exam, not now.
Thank you. Who else we got, Christie?
I
Another
got
jailer?
a Dallas man, Gianni Marlowe.
Manjapani Marlowe is in the hospital. He's not available.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I think I did get a plea sheet for that from Mr. Stone.
Who else we got?
I have James Ridge.
Who's the attorney?
Lundquist. And I did see them in here.
Can you hear us, Mr. Ridge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, hold on. Mr. Lundquist, how are you?
Good morning, or good afternoon, Judge. Very good, thank you.
This is Mr. Ridge. People versus Ridge, 207185. Counsel.
Good morning, or good afternoon again, Your Honor. Eric Lundquist, counsel for Mr. Ridge.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
Your name, Mr. Ridge?
James Edward Ridge.
Thank you, counsel.
Your Honor, having spoke with Mr. Ridge about what his options are, it's my understanding he wishes to have a preliminary examination in this case, so we would ask for a date for that.
By Zoom?
I was actually thinking that we could waive that over now, Mr. Lundquist.
Okay, Mr. Ridge, you understand that you have the right to have this preliminary exam, and by waiving it, the matter will proceed up in the circuit court?
Yes, I understand that.
Okay, Judge, my client having indicated so, we would like to waive it up to circuit court.
And Mr. Ridge, you understand you have a right to an exam?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm just trying to get my drug habit under control, and you know,
I get it.
I feel the best way for that is just to go to circuit court and hope for some type of drug treatment, you know. And I was hoping maybe I can get a bond reduction.
Well, we got to get there first. So
Yes,
you
sir.
understand you're waiving your exam, right?
Yes.
Not going to have an exam of any kind.
Okay.
And you're doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to accept the waiver, going to bind it over to circuit court. Pretrial arraignment date, Mr. Stone?
Mr. Lundquist, do you know who the circuit court judge is assigned to this case?
I have Judge Fonts.
Judge Font?
Yeah, I believe it's Judge Fonts.
Okay, so if it's convenient for Mr. Lundquist, the earliest date would be November 9th at 1:30.
One moment, please.
Or the 16th is also available.
November 9th is good.
Okay.
November 9th at 1:30. You have a motion, Mr. Lundquist?
Your Honor, my client wishes to have a bond reduction. Although I understand he has a hold with Michigan Department of Corrections, so.
Yeah, I have spoken with my parole officer about it, and he said he is fine with whatever the court decides to do as part of my bond. He is more than happy to go along with it. He said that he is not sending me back on these violations. He just wants me to get better.
Christie, what's his current bond?
$5,000 cash surety, 10%.
Mr. Stone?
Judge, I mean, my record's just indicating he does have some prior felonies. That's why I'm unable to resolve anything down here. Some home invasions, delivery manufacturers of drugs. It appears that the driving force in this man's life is a drug problem. Judge, if the bond is reduced, I think some type of monitoring is necessary.
I'm going to set it $3,500, cash surety 10%. It's the best I can do, Mr. Ridge.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Good
Judge.
luck. Good luck.
3,500 cash surety, 10%.
What other prisoners we have, Christie?
I have that Hammond and Hall. And I have a Williams. Antoine Williams with Mr. Becker.
Judge, I have another one here, Mr. Mangiapane Marlowe.
We had to adjourn it. He's in the hospital.
Okay, do we have an adjourned date?
No. We'll have to send it to you.
Okay. I can leave then?
He can, right, Christie?
I'm sorry, Judge.
He wants to leave us.
Yeah, I'll mail him out a notice.
All right. Thank you very much, Judge. Have a good day.
Thank you. So which one on Becker?
Antoine Williams.
Okay.
And where did Becker go? I don't have Mr. Becker. I did.
Hold on, sir.
Okay, yes, sir.
On that note, so Karen must have took them.
You can't find Mr. Becker?
I hope she didn't stick him in there.
Can you call him, Mr. Stone?
Yeah, I tried that.
I do have a message from him that he had an in-person hearing at 3. So I don't know. I just asked him if he signed out or if he left.
All right. Christie, on Hall and Hammonds, I heard you say they're in custody. I don't think counsel was aware of that. I sent him plea sheets to adjourn those. If he said if he needs to be on Zoom, I can call him and he'll dial in.
Let's see, oh, I have him here. Yep, adjourned for discovery.
Who's the attorney on those?
Justin Andrews.
Yeah.
Is that mine, Mr. Hall, Christie?
No.
I didn't think so.
So I'm going to put you back in the waiting room to see if I can find your attorney. Yeah, and I'm not hearing back from Mr.
Becker.
All right. You want to do some out of custodies then?
But don't we have another one in custody?
Those are the ones that are Mr. Andrews that we were gonna adjourn. Was Karen in her office?
I didn't see her. I was looking green. Let me go down there, see if she's there.
If she, please, because I'm not gonna be able
She
to.
might have thick one in your.
She had to have taken them because they were in here.
Well, why don't we adjourn those two, Christie?
Yeah, I can adjourn them. And you want me to just, we'll tell the prisoners that those are the two that are.
Let's do it.
See if they.
And who are the names?
Kenneth Hall and Randall Hammonds.
Is that all you guys got for us? Hall and Hammond?
No, sir.
Adebayo's still out here?
Adebayo, we did.
And Bongiorno.
Oh, yeah, Bongiorno.
This Kenneth Hall? Oh, that's all. You can just have to see theirs.
They adjourned Hall and Hammond.
They adjourned Hall and Hammond?
Correct. Who's got Bongiorno? Christie.
And Judge, you guys said you're done with Adebayo?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a Mr. Bear, and it looks like they're in the waiting room.
Can we do that one?
We can. And then Nemeth is in custody. She's apparently in exam.
That's me.
Nemeth? I have Nemeth right here.
Who do we need, Christie?
We need Bongiorno.
So these two are adjourned.
Counsel, you ready?
Good afternoon, Your
Yes.
Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
Let me call the case. People versus Bongiorno, 206674. Counsel, for the record, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Benjamin G. Bear, P31106, representing Mr. Bongiorno this afternoon.
Thank you,
Good
Mr. Stone.
afternoon, Judge Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
And sir, your name, please.
Cosimo Alessandro Bongiorno.
Thank you, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor, I've had an opportunity to talk with Mr. Stone, and we're going to waive the preliminary examination, have this matter bound over to circuit court, and we have a date of November 9th at 1:30 with Judge Druzinski.
Thank you. And sir, do you understand what's happening here?
Yes, sir.
I understand you're waiving your right to an exam.
Yes.
You're not going to have an exam of any kind. You understand that?
Okay. Yes.
You're waiving the exam freely and voluntarily?
Yeah. The community. Yeah.
Okay, let's do this first, sir. Then we'll
Okay.
get on to the next thing.
Okay.
We're gonna waive the exam, bind it over to the Macomb County Circuit Court. Your pretrial arraignment date is when?
Judge, it's November 9th, 1:30 with Judge Druzinski.
November 9th at 1:30. Anything else, counsel?
Nothing yet, Your Honor. I did talk to Community Corrections when I visited Mr. Bongiorno on the 8th of October, and they were supposed to do a referral for possible treatment, rehab.
I don't have that yet, so.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Good luck to you, sir.
All right. Is there any way I could get a bond reduction, sir? Because Community Corrections came and see me and referred me to the rehab, and I did the assessment with them and all that. And they said if I can get a bond reduction, they'll send me to a rehab. Access agreed to it.
Counsel?
Your Honor, my client's on a $20,000, 10% bond, and he's on SSI. He receives $800 per month. He lives with his father in Harrison Township, and he doesn't have any transportation.
I'm not on probation or parole.
Mr. Stone,
Judge, he's got 13 prior felonies.
I'm going to deny the request. You can ask for it up in circuit, sir.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good luck to you, sir.
All right.
Is that it, counsel? So we're down to just Namath, right?
No, hold on one second. What's your last name, sir? We still have Mr. Williams here too.
Christie?
Oh, yeah, that's Becker's case.
Yes, and he texted and said, if he's got a live hearing at circuit, are you ready now? And I'm like, I'm in a minute. That was a minute ago.
Let's get him.
So I'm just seeing if he's back in my,
They're checking right now. No.
Williams?
got him.
Sorry.
Antoine Williams.
We're ready for Williams. Hold on, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it shows he's joining. Okay, where'd he go? Okay, in waiting room. Oh, here he.
Can you hear us, Mr. Becker? Mr. Becker?
I wonder if he's in the building probably and doesn't have a.
No, that's good. Door shut, I'm like, oh, shit, here, and walked out.
His thing's telling him he's in the waiting room. I'm trying to like ping him. But it's not. He must have bad service.
What are we going to do with this, Mr. Stone?
Well, Your Honor, I mean, without counsel, we can't really proceed.
Did you have a plea or anything?
He never called me back, Judge, so.
I was trying to get a bond trying to get a bond reduction or something. So I can.
We get it, sir.
Tether or something.
He must be trying to sign back in, but I'm not seeing him yet. Showing he's still in my meeting. Yep.
Long time no see, stranger.
Can you hear us, Mr. Becker?
Likewise.
What is
He needs to
that?
go, he needs to go outside.
Yeah, he must be in the building. I'm putting them in the waiting room and see if I can. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me
There
now?
he is. Can you hear us?
Froze again.
He's frozen. Well, you gonna give him one more try, Christie?
We give it one more try and see if he noticed that we kicked him out and he had moved. And now I'm just getting the joining. And he's gone.
Can we adjourn it till tomorrow?
Let me try one more.
Can you hear me? All right,
We
I'll
can
talk
hear
fast
you.
before you lose me.
People versus Williams, 206925. Counsel.
Yes, good morning, or good afternoon, Your Honor. For the record, Attorney Steve Becker for Mr. Williams, date and time set for PCC.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Williams.
Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
Mr. Williams, your name?
My name is Antoine Williams, sir.
Thank you, counsel.
Yes, I've explained my client's constitutional rights. Based on the information, he waives probable cause. We do have a bond motion, Your Honor.
Thank you. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, I do, sir.
You're waiving your right to an exam.
Yes, sir.
You're not gonna have an exam of any kind.
Yes, sir.
Gonna accept the waiver, bind it over to
Yes,
circuit court. Your pretrial arraignment date is when?
Judge, Mr. Becker, do you know who the circuit court judge is, or Christie?
Jennifer Fonts.
Jennifer Fonts would be November 9th at 1:30 p.m.
Thank you. Your bond motion.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Williams tells me that he does have a couple things on his record. He does have a misdemeanor hold, but the jurisdiction is not going to be picking them up because they're out of state. Your Honor, his father has COVID-19. He wants to go home and take care of his father. He tells me he's never failed to appear for any court hearings, as far as I know. He was working full-time. He is on disability, earning $600 a month. I believe a personal bond or a low cash bond would be appropriate in this manner.
Mr. Stone.
Judge, I don't have an actual printed copy of this of the CCH on this individual. It looks like the last time he had any contact was in 2013. Now, I don't know if the 7-year gap is because he was sent to prison or he's just been not in trouble. I don't know that. I would point out, Judge, this was a stolen, he did steal, the allegation is he stole a motor vehicle that was running at a gas station, resisted officers, spat on them once he was caught up.
Yeah, I got 3 bench warrants and 1 out of state warrant. I'm going to deny your request.
It's just driving no license. It's just a no license
Would
charge.
you, Mr. Williams, don't say nothing.
I get it. Ask for Judge Fonts. She'll do it for you.
All right.
Thank you, Mr.
Your Honor.
Becker.
Did
You're
my
all
other one
set,
show up?
Mr. Williams? Who'd you have?
Who did I have?
No. You're all set. You're all set to leave the room, sir.
Who'd you have, Steve?
It was Giovanni. I can't pronounce the last name.
Christie?
No, I think he was retained out on that one. It was,
Oh, okay. Good.
Jubenville, yeah. Weiner retained in on that one.
Okay, perfect.
Weiner.
All right, thank you very much. All right,
Have a
thank you.
good one.
Be safe. Bye-bye.
Don't need it yet.
All right. So we're done with the jail except for the exam, right? So.
Right.
How about Timrick with William Miller? He should be with Mr. Miller.
I do see that, yes.
Timrick?
Yeah.
Timrick, Timmreck.
We haven't called it yet. Sorry.
Thought they were in jail.
Right. Can you hear us, counsel?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Let me call the case. People versus Timrick, 205381. Counsel for the record, please.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Kevin Miller appearing on behalf of the defendant, Sean Timrick, who sits to my right.
Thank you. Mr. Stone.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
And Mr. Timrick, your name, please.
Sean Timrick. Yes, speak up. Sean Timrick.
Thank you. Counsel, you have a plea agreement?
Yes. Yes, we have, Your Honor. Mr. Stone and I have worked together and we've reached a plea agreement. And I will allow him to put that on the record because he can probably read his handwriting better than I can.
Your Honor, the plea agreement's as follows. Defendant is going to be pleading guilty to count 2 with 7694A deferral and count 3 without a deferral, and people would move to dismiss count 1.
And what is count 3?
Domestic violence as well.
So 2 counts of domestic violence.
Correct.
Is that right, counsel?
That is absolutely correct, Your Honor.
And Mr. Timrick, do you understand what happened here? What's happening?
Yes.
Realize you're pleading guilty to a 93-day misdemeanor?
Yes.
You're not going to have a trial of any kind. You understand that?
Yes.
You're waiving all your rights?
Yes.
So as to that charge, in count 2, domestic violence, a 93-day misdemeanor, how do you plead, sir?
No contest.
It's a no contest plea?
We would ask, Your Honor, Your Honor, we are currently embroiled in a divorce and a custody matter, and we would like it to be no contest, Your Honor.
Thank you. As to count 3, domestic violence, a 93-day misdemeanor, how do you plead, sir?
No contest.
Thank you. The factual basis?
Your Honor, reading from police report number 20-16608 from the East Point Police Department indicates on August 23rd, 2020, defendant Sean Timrick was in an argument with his wife, Christelle. Christelle's father, Michael De Palma, who Christel and Sean reside with stepped between them. Sean grabbed the phone and threw it down the steps, causing it to break when Michael called 911. Sean then shoved Michael into the plastic shelf. Sean then grabbed Crystal in a bear hug as she was getting her keys to try and leave.
Have we complied, counsel?
Yes, you have, Your Honor.
Mr. Stone,
Satisfied, Judge.
are you asking for immediate sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor, we would ask that, please.
Mr. Stone,
Judge, as far as the no contact, I'm not sure if the victims are requesting that. It sounds like there is a divorce proceeding pending, given what counsel says. So I'm going to assume that she's going to want to keep that in place. I did speak with her. She was fine with the deferral, but she did want it as to count 2. That is relates to her and not her father on count 3.
thank you, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor, that would be correct. We already have gone into circuit court and we have a parenting time arrangement. The parties already have a 50-50 parenting time schedule. But part of that agreement was based on the idea that the parties were not going to have any contact. I don't believe we would have any issues in the future with what is going on. But I think at this point right now, at least until the divorce is over, it's probably not a bad idea that something isn't in place that says that neither party can be around each other. The children are adjusting well to the situation. And to be blunt, that's all that's really important in this matter.
Thank you, Mr. Timrick. Anything you want to tell me?
It was a bad night, and I apologize to the court. I apologize to both of them. It was uncharacteristic of me for that to happen, and I apologize to everybody.
Okay. I am going to take count 2 under 769.4A. It's 12 months reporting probation. While you're on probation, no similar conduct, no assaultive behavior, no contact with the complaining witness, no arrests, no convictions. I'm going to refer you to my probation department for possible counseling. As far as fines and costs are concerned, on each file, it's $100 in fines, $110 in costs, a $50 state fee, and a $75 crime victims' rights fee. I'll give him 90 days to pay his fines and costs. Any question, counsel?
No, none, Your Honor.
Mr. Timrick, any questions?
No.
Mr. Stone,
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
what's his current address, counsel?
What's your current address?
29292 Shirley, Madison.
Can you hear that, Christie?
I can't, Judge.
Counsel, can you tell us what it is?
29292. 29292 Shirley, Madison Heights, Michigan.
How about a phone number?
810, or no, I mean, sorry, it's 248-765-8495.
Thank you. Any questions?
Not by me, Your Honor.
My probation department will be in contact.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
There's the plan.
Okay, how about Peterson with Cynthia Check?
Peterson? Can you flip that up?
I don't see Mr. Peterson, but I do have a couple that are.
Hello.
Do you have a client?
I do, Your Honor. I've talked to him a few times. He should be there. I can give you his phone number to tell you what number it'd be listed at. Does that help or no?
That would help.
No, because I don't have a phone number. I just have a Galaxy S8. I have a Wilbert. I have a Galaxy A203.
Let me quickly call him, like super quick, and ask him what his phone is, if that helps. He's Hi, what's your phone, Mr. Peterson? What's it? Is it a Galaxy? What is it? They're trying to bring you in. It's an S8. Does that help? I thought you had said that.
Let's try this right here.
Okay, they're going to bring you in, sir.
Is this him?
Yes.
Can you hear us, sir?
Mr. Peterson, can you hear us? Can you hear us, sir? Oh, the beauties of Zoom, Judge.
Tell me about it.
You're frustrated. Looks like help. There we go. Can you hear us, sir? You're on mute.
On mute.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you hear us, sir?
Yes, sir.
Let me call the case. People versus Peterson, 207182. Counsel.
Good afternoon. Cynthia Rayfield Check on behalf of Mr. Peterson.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
Mr. Peterson, your name, please.
Brandon Lee Peterson.
Thank you, counsel.
Your Honor, today is the date and time set for a PCC. I've discussed this matter with Mr. Stone as well as my client. It's my understanding that there is a plea offer to the added count of use of a controlled substance with a 1-year misdemeanor with no objection to 7411, and the original charge will be dismissed. After speaking to my client about this, I've explained his rights to him. I believe he wants to waive his rights and proceed by pleading guilty to this, Judge.
And is that right, Mr. Stone?
Correct, Judge.
And Mr. Peterson, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
And you understand you're pleading guilty to a 1-year misdemeanor?
Yes, I do.
You're not going to have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
And you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
So as to that charge, sir, use of cocaine, a 1-year misdemeanor, how do you plead, sir, guilty or not guilty?
I'm guilty, sir.
Were you in the city of East Point
Yes.
on or about October 19th of this year?
Yes, I was.
And what did you do, sir, which caused you to plead guilty?
What did you say? I'm sorry.
What did you do?
Oh, I was in a use of cocaine.
I'm sorry, what?
I said I was in use of cocaine.
Thank you. Have we complied, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. If I just may follow up, Mr. Peterson, you obviously did not have a prescription for that, correct?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Your Honor, defense is satisfied.
Mr. Stone,
Satisfied, Your Honor.
you're asking for immediate sentencing?
Yes, sir.
Go on, Mr.
If I-
Stone.
Your Honor, this plea was made based upon the facts of this matter, as well as the defendant's minimal criminal history. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Ms. Jack.
Your Honor, thank you. My client is 39 years old. He does have a prior misdemeanor, about 5 years old. He was employed, but now currently is receiving unemployment benefits because he helps take care of his mother, who's at high risk. He's planning on going back to work very soon. He did post $1,000 for bond, actually $10,000, 10%. He does support all his children. He has 7 children. He pays over $800 in child support a month. We're asking the court, he has never been convicted of of any drug crime. We're asking the court to put him on a period of probation and take this matter under 7411, please.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson.
Yes, sir.
Anything you want to say?
I just made a terrible mistake and put my family at risk, and it was just a terrible mistake, and I'm very sorry that I've done so.
Okay. Anything else, Ms. Check?
No, Your Honor.
I'm going to take it pursuant to 7411, 12 months reporting probation. While you're on probation, no similar conduct, no non-prescriptive drugs, no alcohol, random testing. I'm going to refer you to my probation department for possible counseling. No arrests, no convictions, fine in the amount of $200, cost the amount of $210. There's a $50 state fee and a $75 crime victims' rights fee. Any questions, Ms. Check?
No, Your Honor. Will he be contacted by probation?
Is he still living on Schroeder?
No, Your Honor. I have a new address for him.
Christie? Go ahead, the address is.
Thank you. 25588 Send Street, SEND. That's in Roseville, 48066. I also have a phone number and an email address if the court wants it.
Please.
Phone number is 586-563-0086. The email address is Jordan, JORDAN 662341 at iCloud.com.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, my probation department will be in contact.
Okay.
Anything else, Ms. Check?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How about Hemingway with John Biernet?
Hemingway? Mr. Biernet? Can you hear us, Mr. Biernet? Is this Mr. Hemingway?
Yes.
Can you hear us, Mr. Burnett?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let me call the case. People versus Hemingway, 206271. Counsel.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. For the record, John Biernet on behalf of Mr. Hemingway.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
Mr. Hemingway, your name, please.
Charles Anthony Hemingway.
Thank you. Counsel.
Judge, I haven't had a chance to speak to Mr. Stone, although he did call me. I apologize, Mr. Stone, for not getting back to you. I don't know if I could go into a breakout room with him for a moment.
I got a pretty full schedule here, Mr. Burnett.
I apologize. Can we just set this for a trial date?
Mr. Stone?
You looking for a bench trial, Mr. Biernet?
At this time, yeah, I guess we would reserve right to jury.
What date can we give him, Christie?
I can do November 10th at 1.
How's that, Mr. Biernet?
That's great, Judge.
That's your bench trial.
Thank
November
you.
10th at 1. Anything else?
No, sir.
You're all set. We'll see you then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
McGinty with Mr. Matt Walton.
I have Mr. Walton. And I have Mr. McGinty.
Flip this over. Thank you.
Can you hear us?
I can, Judge. Can you hear me?
I can. Your client is muted. Can you hear us, sir?
Yes.
Let me call the case. People versus McGinty, 5767. Counsel.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Judge. Matt Walton on behalf of Dominic McGinty, who is participating by Zoom, and he waives his right to be there in person.
Mr. McGinty, your name, please.
Dominic McGinty.
Thank you, counsel.
Your Honor, I've reached out to Mr. Walton. We discussed a couple resolutions. My understanding, I believe that the defendant is prepared to plead no contest to an added count 2 entry without permission. With dismissal of count 1, restitution will be reserved. There will be no Hyder request on this matter.
And that's a 90-day, correct?
Correct.
Is that right, Mr. Walton?
Yes, Judge, it is.
And Mr. McGinty, do you understand what's happening here?
Yes.
Any questions for your attorney?
No.
And you realize you're waiving your rights by pleading guilty?
Yes.
You're doing
No
this freely
contest.
about, I'm sorry, what?
No contest.
Thank you. Is that right, Mr. Stone?
Yes, Your Honor.
So as to that charge, sir, entry without permission, a 90-day misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir?
No contest.
No contest.
No contest? Thank you. Mr. Stone, the factual basis?
Sorry, Your Honor. Reading from police report, East Point Police Report number 20-16876, indicating that on September 9th, officers were dispatched to 21748 Rosh for an attempted home invasion. Witness Steinway observed 2 males damage a basement window and attempt to pry open a window on the main level of the home. Officers arrived at the scene and observed Tyler Long and Dominic McGinty walking away from the area. Officers spoke with the witness, who positively identified the 2 suspects she saw attempting to gain entry into the home. Home is for sale and is currently having an estate sale.
Have we complied, Mr. Walton?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Stone?
I'm satisfied, Your Honor.
Are you asking for immediate sentence, Mr. Walton?
I am, Judge.
Mr. Stone,
If
anything
I
you want
could.
to add?
Judge, I just indicate people would ask that restitution be reserved. I did try to contact the real estate agency that was handling the estate sale to see if there's any damage, but if there is, I think it's going to be minimal. They haven't reached out.
Thank you, Mr. Walton.
Judge, my client has no priors. He's 19. He's a special ed student, lives with his parents. He did go through all 12 years of high school, but was not awarded a diploma. He was there. He tried to do the work. Quite frankly, he's a follower with this other 2 kids. His parents and he would like very much for him to go to Maryland to live with his grandparents, his great-grandparents. He was born in Maryland. He's got aunts and uncles. He's got more family there. His folks are kind of being proactive and would like to see him get away from these negative influences in the neighborhood. He was cooperative with the police. He did make a statement to them. I don't know if you're contemplating putting him on probation, but his goal is to be able to move out of state, perhaps be supervised there. Or if you put him on non-reporting, he wants to leave the state if you'd allow him.
Thank you, Mr. McGinty. What would you like to tell me?
Chance to speak.
So if I go down to Maryland, I'm going to be working and helping out my grandparents because my grandpa, he's not doing so well. So I was planning on going to go down there, help him around the house, doing everything he needs help with, and just trying to stay out of trouble.
Anything else, Mr. Walton?
No, Judge.
I'll place him on 12 months, reporting probation. While you're on probation, no similar conduct, no arrests, no convictions, fines in the amount of $100, cost the amount of $110, $50 state fee, a $75 crime victims' rights fee. I'll allow him to leave the state upon payment of fines and costs and possible restitution. We're going to reserve the restitution.
Thank you, Judge. Does he need to, if he leaves the state and he pays that money, is he still on probation to you, and does he set that up through probation department?
He does. Is he still on Eureka?
Yes.
Yes.
What's your phone number, sir?
586-252-1320.
My probation department will be in touch.
Okay.
Anything else?
Thank you very much, Your Honor. No.
Good luck. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
And has Bobby Jackson been adjourned? Jeff?
That's what we agreed upon. That's what was done.
Okay, so we're all set, Judge. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
You too.
All right. About Andrews with Attorney Sullivan.
Andrews.
I did off the record. Mr. Sullivan.
Can you hear us, Mr. Andrews?
I'm here.
Can you hear us, Mr. Andrews?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Let me call the case. People versus Andrews, 1711864. Counsel.
Your Honor, Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
Your Honor, James Sullivan on behalf of Mr. Andrews. I'd previously spoken with Mr. Stone about a resolution of this matter, and it's my understanding that offer is still standing. Mr. Andrews was in agreement. Is that your recollection, Mr. Stone?
My offer, I believe, was a resolution under 771.1.
Actually, we had a subsequent discussion. Is it possible to go to a breakout room, Your Honor?
What was it? And I'll let
It
you know.
was just you had suggested the possibility of adding a third count of disturbing the peace.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do that.
Okay,
So he's just going to plead to disturbing the peace?
that's
right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is that right, Mr. Stone?
Yeah, that's fine, Your Honor.
Can you understand what's happening here, sir?
Mr. Andrews, he's talking to you.
Yeah.
You're going to tender a plea of
Yes, Your
guilty
Honor.
to disturbing the peace, sir? You understand?
Yes.
As we had
Yes.
spoken? Okay.
And you're waiving all your rights?
Yes.
Not going to have a trial of any kind?
You understand that, sir? You have to answer
Yes,
to the
yes,
judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
So as to that charge, disturbing the peace, that's a 90-day?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
How do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
We're in the city of East Point. On or about November 18, 2017?
Yes.
And what did you do, sir, which caused you to plead guilty?
For disturbing the peace, shooting.
How'd you do it?
Mr. Andrews, can you hear us?
Shooter. Firearm. Yes. Can you hear
How
me?
did you disturb the peace? How did you disturb the peace?
By discharging my firearm.
Thank you. Have we complied, Mr. Stone?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sullivan,
Yes, Your Honor. Defense is satisfied.
you're asking for immediate sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Stone,
Your Honor, I don't see any criminal history for this individual. I think it was speaking with Mr. Sullivan that he indicated that the defendant, when we discussed possible restitution, I believe the defendant has repaired whatever bullet holes, into the ceiling himself. So I don't think we have an issue with that.
Hey, Mr. Sullivan.
Yes, Your Honor, that's a correct statement. My client did undertake the repairs. It was an unfortunate altercation between two other persons, and my client did intervene, discharged a weapon, which did break up the more serious altercation. Unfortunately, did cause a little damage, which he immediately repaired. He has no prior contacts or subsequent contacts. This matter happened several years ago. I have no reason to believe that he'll be involved. He is gainfully employed right now, has a good job, and has been for some time. And I'd ask the court just to limit his sanction in this matter to a monetary one. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Andrews, anything you want to say?
No, Your Honor.
It's $100 in fines, $110 in costs, a $50 state fee, and a $75 crime victims' rights fee. How long is it going to take him to pay that, Mr. Sullivan?
It's about 300. Sir, how long, Mr. Andrews?
I can pay it. I can pay it ASAP.
He can pay it.
I'll give him 1 week.
Thank you, Your Honor.
1 week to pay.
Thank you very much,
Do you
Your
have
Honor.
any questions, sir? Do you have an address, Mr. Andrews?
I have an address for him, Your Honor.
Address.
Can you give it to us, Mr. Sullivan?
It's 9257 Bishop, Detroit, Michigan, 48224. Is that still your current address, Mr. Andrews? On Bishop?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You're all set.
Thank you, Your Honor. Take care.
Thank you.
Do you have Attorney Piotrowski in there? You can bring him in. I think it's just going to be a Jeremy. He filed a deviation yesterday. I tried calling him back to tell him we could do it off the record, but I never got a hold of him. That's Tavernier.
Brian Tavernier.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
For the record, David Piotrowski on behalf of Mr. Tavernier, the date and time set for PCC, we're going to waive up.
Okay.
All right.
And where's your client?
Bring him right now, Judge.
Yeah, he has been on. I trust he's still there.
Mr. Tavernier?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Piotrowski, you want to question your client regarding his waiver?
Certainly. Mr. Tavernier, you know today's the date for a PCC, correct? Yes, sir. And you would normally be scheduled for a preliminary examination the next week, but you want to waive that preliminary examination. Is that correct? Yes, sir. You know that you'll be bound up to the circuit court. You will no longer remain in the district court. Is that correct? Yes. And we've submitted a deviation request and we're waiting on the decision on that. Is that correct? Yes. And you know that the standard for this preliminary examination that you're going to waive, but the standard is probable cause. Two things have to be shown: probable cause the crime was committed and probable cause you committed the crime. You understand that? Yes. And you want to waive your preliminary examination at this time and bind the case up on this PCC day? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm satisfied. Accept the waiver, bind it over to circuit court. Your pretrial arraignment date is when, Mr. Stone?
I'm not sure, Judge. Mr. Piotrowski, do you happen to know who the circuit court judge is, or would Your Honor know?
It should be Judge Viviano. He's got a case up there with her right now.
Viviano.
And I think
Her on bond would be Monday at 1:30, so we'd be looking at November 9th at 1:30 p.m.
May I check my schedule? I just, because I think we
Sure.
already agreed with Judge Viviano. I just want to make sure that's what we agreed to. I can't believe we're talking about November 9th. Yep, that's the right date.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Be safe.
Thank you.
All right, how about Alpha Key with Mr. Malkowitz?
What's the name?
Alpha Key is the last name. Zachary is the first name.
I'm sorry, who are we looking for?
Jason Malkowitz and Zachary Alpha Key. There would be a witness. I'm looking for Erica Alpha Key.
I have Mr. Trojanowski and Alpha Key, a male.
Okay.
I have a Zachary Alpha Key. I have a couple phones in here that aren't named.
Let's check them. Your name, sir? Your name?
Tornez Chambers.
Got that, Christie?
Yeah, I don't have him. What kind of case do you have?
It was supposed to be I paid the ticket. It was no proof of insurance. My court date today.
It was at 8:30.
Yeah, I was. Listen, I'm gonna tell you. I was on the last. I was at court 4 for about an hour and a half, since 8:30 to 10 o'clock. Then he transferred me. He gave me this number, and I came on there for about 30 minutes. Then it went off for probably about 1 o'clock. And I've been on here
Okay,
since.
you're gonna have to call. You're gonna have to call out to the girls in the office.
Okay.
So call the court number 445-5020, and then hit option 3.
Option 3. I've been doing that.
Hit option 3. 1 and 2 won't get you anywhere.
Okay.
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 Try that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I just have the defendant. And then I'm assuming that Mr. Trojanowski is standing in for Mr. Malkowitz.
Okay.
Most likely. Can you hear us?
Ken, Your Honor, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. Hold on.
Hello,
Your name, sir?
Zachary Alpha Key.
Let me call the case. Case number 205384. Counsel.
Your Honor, Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Edward Trojanowski, parent on behalf of Mr. Alpha Key, who's present via Zoom and waiving his physical presence in the courtroom. Standing in for the attorney record, Jason Malkowitz, with Mr. Alpha Key's permission.
Mr. Alpha Key, your name, please.
Zachary Alpha Key.
Thank you, counsel.
Your Honor, this matter set for bench trial was set for 1 o'clock. I don't believe the people are able to proceed. I'd ask for a dismissal at this point.
Mr. Stone.
Correct, Judge. It appears your clerk has searched the waiting room for my complaining witness. It doesn't appear that she's in there. I have tried calling the phone number that was listed. That phone number does not belong to a female. It belongs to a male by the name of Noel. I've had no contact with her.
Case is dismissed.
Thank you, Your
You're
Honor.
all set.
Thank you.
What else, Christie?
I have Mr. McCandless. I'm trying to see who he's.
Oh yeah, he's there on Larry Sargent. don't have a file for that one.
I think for the second, yes, I'm not one. Which one are you on? You're on both?
Is Sergeant there?
Oh, no, Judge. I don't think I haven't heard from him.
I do not see Mr. Sergeant. No, Judge.
Let me call the case. People versus Sergeant, 197717. Counsel.
Good afternoon, Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
Gwen McCandless for defendant, Your Honor.
And Christie?
I do not see Mr. Sergeant in the waiting room.
And have you had any contact, Mr. Canlis?
No, Judge, I wasn't able to contact him. No
Mr. Stone.
contact from him.
Your Honor, people would request a bench warrant be issued. This is a felony matter. He's failed to appear.
I'm going to issue a bench warrant, forfeit the bond, set a new bond, 10,000 cash, surety, or 10%.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
I have an attorney, Toy Thomas, and her defendant, Dartel Thomas.
Okay.
Thomas? Mm-hmm. Can you hear us?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can your client?
Connecting.
Can you hear us, Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Let me call the case 192183. For the record, please, counsel.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. May I please this honorable court, Attorney Toy Thomas, P number 82295, appearing on behalf of Mr. Thomas. Would you state your name for the record, Mr. Thomas?
Dr. Marvel Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Stone.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
Okay, counsel.
Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. This is the date and time set for our final pretrial. I've already spoken with the prosecutor in regards to how we wish to proceed. We are still in position to proceed with a jury trial.
Is that right, Mr. Stone?
That's my understanding, Judge, and I mean, I know that we're unable to schedule them right now. I would note that when reviewing this file this week, I did find a note and where previous APA did amend the complaint, although we've never brought it to court to have it sworn to. We are still considering doing that, and that would be a 5-year felony, just to put the defense on notice.
Okay, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to set it for another final pretrial. December, Christie?
Yes, Judge, let's go. December 8th at 1.
How's that, counsel?
That's fine, Your Honor.
That's the next final pretrial.
Okay, thank
Anything
you.
else?
No, I'll be reaching out to the prosecutor in regards to what he just stated on the record.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, you as well.
You're all set, Mr. Thomas.
Thank you.
You got Attorney Coleman Morse or Moore? I'm not sure.
And what file?
Jeffrey Lindsay.
He's not here. He's not here. Does Michelle Vanderhagen have, they're both sentencing. I have Mr. Smith with the sentencing. Ms. Vanderhagen. I have Mr. Rosenberg, who It's
Yeah.
on one of the exams, I believe.
Yeah, and then I had 2 files with no attorneys, that being Sharice Thompson and Danielle Wilbur.
Danielle Wilbert was adjourned. I just got an appearance, I believe, yesterday. The attorney is in the hospital.
Okay.
And I gave her a date of I think I gave her out to the December. And then if Miss Thompson or Thomas, whichever,
You have that one?
was supposed to retain her own attorney.
Is she there?
She is here. I do have both of them there.
So who we calling in?
Oh, Miss Wilbur, I gave November 24th, Jeff.
Okay.
Oh, they're both, let's see here. I'm going to bring in Danielle Wilbert. I think I have the file.
Okay.
Hello.
Christy?
What is your name?
Danielle Robert.
Danielle?
Yes.
Okay, I can barely hear you. I'm sorry. We have adjourned your case to November 24th at 1 o'clock per your attorney's request, and notices have been mailed out.
Okay.
Okay?
You're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, and you know what? I do not see the other one, Miss Thomas.
Thompson?
Thompson.
So you never saw her?
I thought I did, but you know, I've been through so many names this afternoon. They're kind of,
Let me call the case. Okay?
yes.
People versus Thompson, 205786. Mr. Stone?
Your Honor, Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
Christie?
Judge, I do not have her in my waiting room. I did believe earlier that I saw her in there, but I do not see her in there now.
I'm going to issue a bench warrant, set a bond, 5,000, cash, surety, or 10%. And then what else, Christie?
I do not have Spitzer. I have Rosenberg and Vorhoff. I have Mr. Smith with Ms. Vanderhagen for a sentencing.
I think Mr. Spitzer, of those cases we adjourned. On the Howard, I think her name is.
Yeah, Pool. Yep. Yeah.
All right, if you want to do your sentencing,
Okay, what's the file of the sentencing?
Vanderhagen. She's got a purple and a blue.
Let's see it. Can you flip it up for me? Let's see.
Okay, Mr. Smith.
Is Vanderhagen there, Christie?
She was, Judge, yes.
Mr. Smith,
Afternoon, Your Honor.
how are you?
Very good.
Okay, there. Yeah, it kicked me out.
Did he come back out?
That's back.
Miss Vanderhagen, you want to state your name for us?
Yes, Michelle Vanderhagen.
Can you give me both files, Christie, the file numbers?
Ms. Vanderhagen is case number 195425 and case number 19 EA02310 A.
Thank you, Mr. Smith, for the record.
Afternoon, Your Honor. Kevin Smith, appearing on behalf of Ms. Vanderhagen for sentencing on both files.
And Ms. Vanderhagen, your name, please.
Michelle Vanderhagen.
And I don't have a plea, Christie. Can you help me?
Oh, this, let's see. I think she pled a while back, Judge.
I couldn't find it.
Yeah, it's the, you're talking about the city case, Your Honor?
The state case. The state case I have that she pled on October 6th.
Of this year?
Yes.
To?
Larceny under 200, I believe.
Yeah, larceny less than 200.
And the city case?
Possession of narcotic paraphernalia.
Thank you. And you're prepared, Mr. Smith?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
What would you like to tell me?
Your Honor, Ms. Vanderhagen is 42 years of age. She's single. She has one 4-year-old son. She lives with her parents and her son in Fraser. She's a high school grad, works at a car wash in East Point. Your Honor, a lot of her problems of past acts, theft charges primarily had to do with a bad drug problem, crack cocaine, as well as these two matters as well. She had been trying to get into biomed, but was unsuccessful because of COVID. I guess one thing in her favor is she's had a clean record since then, again, is gainfully unemployed and trying to deal with her drug problem. As to the state case, there was a restitution. That was one of the reasons for the adjournment of $85 for a stolen knapsack. I was advised by Ms. Vanderhagen that she did put a money order into the Dropbox now. She had been paying, trying to pay before, I know that diligently, Your Honor, and had made it out not to the court, but to a wrong payee, and it was sent back by the court. So based on Ms. Vanderhagen saying she did make the restitution today, Your Honor, the contempt had to do with the failure to appear on January 24th of this year. I was here. She did appear late, but did report. She's been here for all dates. In relation to that matter, the contempt case, she did post a new $500 cash bond, which could be applied towards fine and costs. We just asked the court to consider all this and rendering sentence on both files.
And Chrissy, do we have the restitution?
She dropped it in the box about 2 o'clock this afternoon, Your Honor.
Oh, then we will not have it now.
Okay, Ms. Vanderhagen, what would you like to tell me?
I'm sorry, what was that?
You want to say anything?
I'm sorry for my actions, and I'm just trying to get everything straight now and just working and taking care of my son.
Anything else, Mr. Smith?
No, Your Honor.
It's the sense of the court. 12 months reporting probation, no similar conduct, no arrests, no convictions, no non-prescriptive drugs, no alcohol, random testing. I am going to refer you to my probation department for counseling. As far as on the larceny case, it's $100 in fines, $110 in cost, $75 crime victims rights fee, and a $50 state fee. As far as the possession of narcotic paraphernalia, she's not been sentenced on that, has she, Christy?
No, Judge.
It's $100 in fines, $110 in cost, $50 state fee, $75 crime victims rights fee. There's going to be a warrant fee, right, Christy?
Yes, Judge, on
How much? On both, go ahead, what is it?
75 on each, it looks like, Judge, so the 150.
Okay. She can apply her bonds. She have bonds on both cases, Christie?
Just on the, just on the larceny, Judge.
Okay. When can she pay the balance, Mr. Smith?
Your Honor, again, she has 500, which would give her about a $100 balance, I think, on this. On the other one, she would need some time, Judge. She doesn't have any money today.
She can apply the bond. I'll give her 90 days to pay her fines and costs.
Thank you.
Any questions, Mr. Smith?
No, Your Honor, Ms. Vanderhagen will be contacted by probation, correct? Is that?
Are you still on Winsome?
Winsome, yes.
That's where you're at? Okay. Any questions?
No.
My probation department will be in contact.
Thank you,
Okay,
Judge.
thank you.
Have a
Good luck
day.
to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
You too.
Be well, Judge.
You're all set, ma'am. Now what, Christie?
I have
Just the
Mr.
exams are
Ro-
left?
Mr. Rosenberg on Vorhoff, and I do not have the attorney for Nemeth.
That'd be Jackie Wright. You want me to try calling her?
Because Nemeth is the one that's in custody.
Right.
So it's co-defendants.
Are they co-defendants?
Yeah.
No.
Still have someone in jail.
Have you seen Miss Wright at all?
I didn't see her, no.
Okay.
I just got a answer machine at her office.
So what do you want to do, Jeff?
Well, can't have an exam without an attorney.
Oh, really? Let's go to the jail, Christie.
You could try to set it for tomorrow, but
Nemeth?
Yes. Hi.
Hi. Let me call the case, ma'am. It is People versus Nemeth, case number 206641. Counsel, Mr. Stone.
Your Honor, Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
Ma'am, your name, please.
Trisha Ann Nemeth.
Thank you. Christie, we don't have Miss Wright,
I do not, Judge.
and you've tried to call her, Mr. Stone?
That's correct, Judge. I called her law office. It went to voicemail. I did leave a voicemail with the court Zoom ID number as well as my cell phone for her to contact me.
We don't have an attorney for you, ma'am.
Okay, so what's that mean?
I'm gonna adjourn your case.
Till tomorrow?
Probably.
Okay,
We'll adjourn it till tomorrow.
okay.
Okay.
Tomorrow morning,
Afternoon, 1
afternoon?
o'clock,
Okay.
okay?
I'll have my grandpa try calling her today.
Good idea.
All right, thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow. That's it?
That's it.
Thank you.
Have a good day, sir.
You too, thank you.
Do we keep this in tomorrow's file?
Yeah. I'm gonna put that in tomorrow's file, Christie. So are we ready on Vorhoff?
Should be. Do you have Officer Ballard in the waiting room?
I do.
Is this the last case?
Yes.
It looks, I do have Christopher Murray in here. If I can just bring him in really quick. I adjourned him already as well.
Let's tell him.
I just gotta find the date that
We can't send Heidi out on 9 Mile? See if we can find something else?
This is a no. She said she'll pass.
That's a no.
That's a no. That's a no.
Christopher Murray? It's on you, Christie.
I'm mailing out a notice, so hopefully we have the correct address and
Let's go with Vorhoff.
okay, I will pull Mr. Rosenberg in. Is Officer Ballard the only witness, Mr. Stone?
Yes.
Hi,
Are you ready?
I was born ready. Yes, thank you.
That's the
Hi,
response
Jeffrey.
I was looking for.
Hi.
And we have Mr. Vorhoff.
You should be.
We're gonna find him.
Okay. Me? I got it.
No.
No, your client.
Oh, okay.
He's frozen now, Christie.
Almost done.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us, Mr. Vorhoff?
Because we're hardwired in.
Connect your audio. Kenny, I'm looking at the judge and Christie and Mr. Stone. It won't let you connect your audio. Well, I can use my phone if you want. Are you there? I've done it before, Judge. It's up to you.
I'll do it.
Let's do it.
Any
Kenny, I'm
objection,
gonna-
Mr. Stone?
No, Your Honor.
Okay,
Let
Kenny,
me
you
call the
just.
case.
Thank you, Your
Let me
Honor.
call it. People versus Vorhoff, 203182. Counsel for the record, please.
Mr. Stone?
Your Honor, Jeff Stone on behalf of the people.
Your Honor, may it please the court, David Rosenberg, P27407, on behalf of Mr. Voroff, who will be listening and staying silent. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. We can see him on the screen.
Excellent.
Preliminary exam. Any preliminary matters?
Your Honor, defendant's ready.
None on behalf of the people, Your Honor. We would call Officer Ballard.
First witness.
He has been coming back and forth, but I have him in the waiting room. I might have to call.
Okay.
He was just over here, so wherever he signed in at, he was. That's to the command. 1004. Oh, here he comes.
Okay.
Can you hear us, officer?
No, he's not connected.
Yep, I got it.
Here he goes.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Are you
Kenny,
ready?
you do not talk, Kenny.
Let me get into this room real quick and I'll be ready.
Okay, sir.
All right, I'm ready.
You want to raise your right hand, please? You swear affirm tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
State your name and spell it for our record, please.
Josh, Josh, Ballard, Ballard.
Thank you, Mr. Stone.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Ballard, are you employed?
Yes,
Where are you employed at?
East Point Police Department.
How long have you been employed with the East Point Police Department?
Approximately 8 months.
Okay, were you employed as a police officer prior to that?
I was, yes, sir.
Okay, for how long?
Approximately 9 months.
Okay. So your total, you've been a police officer for approximately 17 months total, is that correct?
Approximately, yes, sir.
Okay. Did you receive training and regarding narcotics and drugs?
A little bit, yes, sir.
Okay. And were you employed by the East Point Police Department back on May 27th of 2020?
Yes, sir.
And what was your assignment that particular day?
A patrol.
And did you respond to do a welfare check on that day?
Yes, sir.
And what was the nature of the welfare check?
We were told that a male in a white Ford Explorer was passed out behind the wheel. It was parked in a parking lot of One Stop Liquor.
At One Stop Liquor, and is that located at 1259 Mile in the city of East Point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you make contact with with that vehicle?
I did, sir.
Okay. Were you the first person there?
I was not. Officer Showers was.
Okay.
Say again, I'm sorry, sir. Say again the name.
Officer Showers.
Thank you.
But I was the first to make contact with the driver or the individual in the car.
Okay.
Thank
and when you made contact with the driver of that vehicle, what was the nature of your conversation with him?
Your
I
Honor,
noticed that.
I'll have to object. There's no foundation. Mr. Stone, if you could, please. What the
I'm
officer did, what he didn't do, I think is important for that foundation.
Mr. Stone.
So Officer Ballard, did you approach the the vehicle that you were called to do a welfare check on?
I did.
And how did you make contact with the driver?
Through the driver's window, if I recall correctly.
Okay, was the window up or down?
I do not recall. I had talked to him through a rolled down window. I don't remember if it was up when I initially made contact with him or not.
Okay, when you made first contact with the driver of that vehicle, what did you notice? Anything?
I noticed that his pupils were constricted and he appeared to be very drowsy.
Okay. And was his, when you say his pupils are constricted and he appeared to be drowsy, and you're, based upon your training and experience, what is that indicative of?
It's indicative of drug use, sir.
Okay. And was the defendant run through lean?
He was, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. And what, if anything, came back?
We were able to locate, he had 2 prior drug crimes.
Your Honor, I'll object to relevance.
Mr. Stone?
Your Honor, at some point in this investigation, the defendant's placed under arrest for warrants.
I agree, but at this point, I think it is premature. I'm going to sustain the objection.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's move on.
Okay. Did you ask the defendant to step out of the vehicle at any time, Mr. Ballard?
I did. He was asked by Officer Pirro if he had any warrants, and he said he did for child support.
Okay. And those are verified?
Eventually, yes. Not at that time.
Was he being placed under arrest for those warrants?
He was being detained.
Okay.
I'm sorry, being detained, sir?
Mr. Rosenberg, do you want to wait until my examination's done before you start asking questions?
Mr. Stone, I didn't mean to do that. Please, you know me better. I just didn't hear. There's some
Thank
people
you. Come on,
talking in the
gentlemen.
background. Okay.
I got it. Come on, gentlemen.
All right. Officer Ballard, you indicated the defendant was then detained.
Yes, sir.
Did we lose the defendant?
No,
Mr. Voroff, are you still there? Okay.
Okay, is it
He's still
possible,
there.
counsel, he could put his camera back on? Otherwise, you're going to need to stipulate that this is the defendant that my officer had contact with.
Oh, I appreciate that. I will, Mr. Voroff, can you hear Officer Ballard testify? Mr. Voroff? Can you hear Mr.? Okay, I'll stipulate.
It's so stipulated, Mr. Stone.
That's for identification purposes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
For exam only.
Thank you. Officer Ballard, you indicated that the defendant was that point detained, correct?
Yep, correct.
And at that point, did you notice anything in or around his vehicle?
Yeah, I noticed that there was a small pill on the floorboard of the driver's seat.
Okay, and do you recall what type of, could you describe the pill?
I just remember that it was small. It had GG257 imprinted on it.
Objection foundation. We need to know how we found that out, Judge. It's important.
Officer
You can
Ballard,
ask another question, Mr. Stone.
Thank you, Your Honor.
how did you determine that there was a stamp on that pill?
We inspected it. We found it on the floorboard.
Objection to the we. I need to know what Officer Ballard did, Your Honor, please. I just need a clean record.
Officer Ballard, what did you do personally?
Personally, I inspected it.
Okay.
Yep, I inspected the pill that was located on the floorboard. We visually saw it as the defendant was stepping out of the vehicle.
Okay.
And you saw it.
Yes, correct.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What did you do with the pill?
We
you stop talking.
We searched it through drugs.com and it returned as alprazolam, and it was entered into evidence. It was placed in an evidence bag and returned to East Point Police Department.
All right, drugs.com, a device or tool that's commonly used by your department to identify analogs?
Your Honor, there's no, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Stone. I didn't mean to object. I'll withdraw my objection.
Thank you.
Officer Ballard, you can answer my question.
Yep, it's commonly used within our department. When we searched it in drugs.com, it returned as alprazolam, which is a Schedule 4 substance.
Okay. Do you know what alprazolam is commonly referred to otherwise?
I do not off the top of my head.
Okay. Did you have any information on whether defendant had a prescription for that?
I have to object to relevance. What investigation did the officer do or not do to determine or ask the existence or non-existence of a prescription?
Judge, he just stated my question just in a different form.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
I'm going to overrule the objection. Go
Thank
ahead,
you, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Stone.
Officer Ballard, were you able to determine if the
Yes,
defendant
sir.
had a prescription for that analog?
We did not locate a prescription for that.
Okay. And I see that his camera is now back on. Just very quickly, do you see the defendant or the driver of that vehicle on your Zoom screen?
I do not.
Okay, we've already stipulated though, so I'm going to move on from there, Officer
Thank you,
Ballard.
sir.
Was there anyone else in the vehicle?
No, there was not.
Okay, no further questions, Your Honor.
May I inquire, Judge? Thank you. Officer Ballard, hi, thanks for waiting so long. David Rosenberg is my name. I represent Mr. Vorhoff. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Officer Ballard, where did you work before you went to work for East Point?
St. Clair County, sir.
The Sheriff's Department?
Yes, sir.
And you are M.
I was
Coles. You're certified by the Michigan Coalition?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Your arrival at the scene on 9 Mile, when you arrived, there was already the fire department and EMT, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. What were they doing, if you recall, sir?
I don't recall. I showed up as they were leaving.
Okay. Did you talk to any of the fire department people or EMTs before they left?
I don't recall.
Recall the weather?
I don't recall that day.
Can we assume we had a pretty hot summer, bright, shiny afternoon? Is that correct or no? If you recall. If you don't recall, that's okay.
I can't recall that day. It was months ago.
Okay. All right. You observed, I'm sorry, you said that Mr. Vorhoff's eyes appeared to you to be constricted and he appeared to be drowsy.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You were very candid in your statements to Mr. Stone earlier that you had a little bit of training with regard to folks with regard to contraband narcotics and the like. Is that right?
Okay. Correct.
And I'm going to assume that that's true for a moment. At some point in time, you determined that, I'm sorry, you had asked Mr. Vorhoff yourself if you'd had any warrants. Is that correct?
I believe Officer Puro did. If I recall correctly.
That's fair enough. You don't recall asking yourself.
No, I don't.
So you heard Mr. Vorhoff's response.
Yes.
And that was he believed he had an outstanding friend of the court warrant from Oakland County, right?
Correct.
I mean, I don't know if it's right, but that's what he said to you.
That's what he said, yes.
Okay, fair enough. And at that point in time, what took place was that you had Mr. Vorhoff exit the motor vehicle. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, by the way, Officer Ballard, who's the title owner of the motor vehicle?
I'm going to look at my report real quick.
Sure, if the court allows, absolutely.
If I'm
No
allowed.
objection, Mr. Stone.
Oh, Your Honor, if it'll refresh his recollection, I'm fine with it.
Go ahead, Officer Ballard.
Okay. I hope it is in here. It does not say in my report, so I don't recall who the owner is.
And to this day, you don't know who owned the motor vehicle. True statement?
I'm sure I knew at the time. I do not know at this moment.
Thank you very much. All right, Officer Ballard, and I appreciate your response. You asked or you had Mr. Vorhoff exit the motor vehicle. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And either you or your partner placed Mr. Vorhoff in the back of a police vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. Did you or your partner in your presence read Mr. Vorhoff his Miranda rights?
I don't believe so.
Okay. And Officer Ballard, at the point in time that you were asking or taking Mr. Voroff from the motor vehicle, whoever it was, you say you noticed something on the floorboard of the motor vehicle in the front seat, in front of the driver's seat. Is that correct?
On the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's what you wrote in your report.
That is, yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me, Officer Ballard, that observation. Tell the court candidly what you saw before you touched anything or picked anything up or researched drugs.com. What did you see?
I observed a very small pill. It was located on the floor mat, if I recall correctly. I don't remember the exact location, but it was where his feet were located.
Okay. Fair enough, Officer Ballard. At the time, what color was it? I don't even know.
It doesn't say in my report. I don't remember.
Okay. May I take it, Officer Ballard, and please, at any time, please tell me that I'm wrong or not. May I take it that whether or not that pill was evidence of a crime, you had no idea at the time you saw it?
I just knew it was a pill. I did not know what it was at the time. No,
Okay.
sir.
The way that the lawyers speak, its criminality was not readily apparent to you. Is that a fair statement?
Is there?
I know it's a fancy way of saying you didn't know if it was contraband. Is that fair?
Judge, I'm going to object. You can't speculate on to the defendant's intent.
I'm sorry, I'm not asking about anybody's intent.
Yeah.
I want to know the
I'm
witness.
going to overrule the objection. Go ahead, Mr.
Okay, all right. You didn't know what it was, if it was contraband or a sugar pill or anything, until you looked it up in this website. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, that means you had to pick the pill up. Tell me when I'm wrong. Pick the pill up. You manipulated it, you looked, you saw some numbers on it.
Yes.
You didn't see any of that until you picked the pill off the floorboard. Actually, that's a bad way. That was just a dumb way of saying what I wanted to say. Did you know what it was until you did all those things and looked the pill up?
I don't recall if I could see the imprints on it prior to picking it up.
Okay.
Okay.
But for sure, when you picked it up and looked at it, you saw this imprint of was it 227?
257.
257, okay.
GG 257.
Thank you, sir.
I just want to let you know my phone is about to die.
Oh, I'll do my best. Okay, Officer Ballard, did you look up this pill in this website, or did your partner?
I believe I did, sir.
Okay. What did you do physically in your investigation, Officer Ballard, to determine at that time whether or not Mr. Voroff had a valid prescription for anything?
I know we searched his car, instant to
I
arrest.
want to know what you did, sir. I know what you want, what
sorry.
you did.
I did. If I recall correctly, I did. I don't recall if myself, I asked him if he had a prescription or not.
Now that's important. You would have written that down.
I would have if I did that, yes, sir.
Did this report you referred to earlier, to refresh your recollection, that's a report you authored, you wrote?
Yes, sir.
Okay, did your partner write one, if you know, or did you?
I don't know, sir.
Okay, fair enough. So you searched the vehicle subsequent to Mr. Voroff's arrest. What was he under arrest for?
Possession of analogs once we figured out what the pill was, sir.
Now, this is all done at the scene
Yes, sir.
on 9 Mile. So
Yes, sir.
he was detained while you performed this investigation.
Yep, he was detained till we had results from the warrant to confirm if the warrant he mentioned was a real warrant.
Okay, so is he placed under arrest for the warrant or for the possession of the analog? Because the record's not real clear. I don't want to mess it up.
So he was detained for the warrant until we could confirm its validity. Once we discovered the pill and what it was, he was placed under arrest for possession of analogs.
For the pill?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I appreciate that. Good luck to you, sir. You got a great career ahead of you. Mr. Stone, Your Honor, thank you. I have nothing further.
Mr. Stone.
No follow-up, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're all set, Officer Ballard.
All right,
Next
thank you.
witness, Mr. Stone.
No further witnesses.
Any witnesses, Mr. Rosenberg?
Thank you, no, Your Honor. The defense rests.
Argument.
Your Honor, people that ask this matter be bound over as charged, possession of analogs. I mean, the testimony is clear, Judge. Officer Ballard responds to a location in a liquor store for a welfare check of a person slumped over the wheel of a vehicle, makes contact with that person. They show signs of being on some kind of substance. He is detained pursuant to the validity of a active warrant for child support. During that, the officers discover I get it, it's just one pill, but a pill on the floorboard of the vehicle, on the driver's side of the vehicle that the defendant's occupying. No one else is inside of it. Does not have a valid prescription for that. They verified it is alprazolam, which is commonly known as Xanax. They've identified the defendant. I believe we've met our burden.
Mr. Rosenberg.
Judge, in rebuttal, it's a tough situation. I could have, but I didn't ask questions with regard to if the pill's still around. I don't know if its contents were analyzed by anybody's lab. I don't, and Josh over at the police station is just aces with regard to sending discovery. I'm not sure that we ever determined that what was taken was in fact contraband as per the, the tests that could be performed. But just to make it short, Judge, my client was placed under arrest. I don't know if he made any statements. I do know the officer was candid enough to say that he doesn't recall giving my client his rights to remain silent. I do know that once he was removed from the vehicle, at a point in time where the officers could have gotten a warrant, and it's a close question, Judge, as to whether or not these officers had a right to be where they were at the time they were, picking this pill up without knowing its criminality. One pill that Officer Ballard candidly had to manipulate, find out what it was. I think, when we were young lawyers, we carried around that PDR, that physician's desk reference, that had script that was about 2-point type. You needed bifocals to read them. Apparently, you go online these days to drugs.com or whatever it's called and indicate that what you're looking at might possibly be contraband. But you know what, Judge, for purposes of our examination, it hasn't been proven it's anything at all. The proofs are what they are. Secondly, the argument with regard to plain view is really distinct. If it's criminality, and that's lawyer speak again, Judge, is not readily apparent to Officer Ballard in his candid responses, then I don't think he had a right to do what he did and manipulate, look, and search. Certainly, Mr. Vorhoff wasn't going anywhere with the vehicle. I'm just going to have to assume, because I know that there was a notice of seizure and intent to forfeit, that the motor vehicle was forfeited. I don't know who, if anyone, responded to. That's the other issue about who owned the car, because we're talking about constructive possession. You see what we're dealing with here, Judge? I'm not sure that the record is good enough and I know this court for a long time, to make a determination that there's been a crime committed and that's probably that Mr. Vorhoff committed. And I respectfully ask, Judge, that the court deny the people's motion.
Mr. Stone.
Judge, he's essentially just created a question of fact for a jury.
Oh,
I hate throwing those words out there, but it is what it is.
They're a lot smarter up there in Mount Clemens than I am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I do find it is an issue of fact. I'm going to bind the matter over. It's a good motion for you to have up there, Mr. Rosenberg.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So I'm sure they'll help you. When's the pretrial arraignment date?
Mr. Rosenberg, do you happen to know if who that judge is? I don't know if you're appointed.
You know what? I wanted to say it was Joe Toya, but Mr. Stone, I don't know. I really don't.
Your Honor, would the court know?
I don't know either.
All right,
I'll find out.
I guess we can roll the dice. The majority of them are doing out of custodies Mondays at 1:30. So, Mr. Rosenberg, if the 9th of November, I believe is the date we've been using, is okay, or you can have the 16th.
The 9th is outstanding, Mr. Stone. Thank you.
Okay.
I got Gotti. I found it.
Oh, Gotti?
It's Julie Gotti.
Okay.
Monday at 1:30.
The 9th at 1:30?
Yeah.
Outstanding. Mr. Stone, accept my apology for stepping on toes. Judge, it's great to see the court.
Always good to see you.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great day.
All right.
Good luck to you,
Kenny, you
Mr.
can leave.
Vorhoff.
Thank you, sir.
Are we done, Jeff?
Yeah, I don't know if anyone checked on that Jeffrey Lindsay. That was the only file that,
Well, let's see if we can find Christie.
She left me.
I don't blame her.
I got to get ready for Roseville in the morning.
Let me see if she's still here. Hang on. Still here.
I didn't go anywhere. I was just doing payroll.
All right. Christie, on Jeffrey Lindsay, did we just adjourn that or what are we doing?
I don't have anything. I could have something on it,